Hello, everybody. We're back. The first Graps show of 2026, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's a big one. It's time to talk about the Ace. But before that, I must introduce our illustrious crew. Khalid, my co-host, my cohort. How are you?
I am very sad. I'm about to be in a pool of my tears in 3 days.
Yeah.
My ace is retiring. My president, I can't believe this shit. But you know what? It's all good. You know, we got these matches we about to go through, man. I'm here for a good time.
Hell yeah! I noticed the you look familiar.
Oh, really? Really?
Is there something going on? Is there inspiration you're taking here?
Well, yeah, there's this guy, this Gato guy, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
He used to walk around with a big bandana, kind of like this, and I was like, hey, let me just see if I'm feeling it, and I think I am.
Yeah, he looks very uncomfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, he killed the lion. Hey, Joe, how are you?
I am terrific, feeling fresh after a wonderful morning live stream. This is a slightly sad affair, as we know. The great man is retiring, but also truly tragic that in his final days as a pro, he would see the tide turn once more, as New Japan was unseated as the lead promotion in Japan. Just this morning, live at Budokan's. That is kind of a shame, a sour note, if you will.
Yeah.
But I have to say, our young friend Donnie is not with us. And
he just hasn't texted back.
Yeah. I did not dive face down in the muck for such a thing to happen once I handed over this business,
I mean, listen, man. We'll see what happens.
We will.
If he shows up midway through.
Yep, we're going to make him review all the matches in one go. Just turn our cameras off.
It's true. All right.
But, I'm maybe a bit. This actually was quite a nostalgic watch for me, quite frankly.
I would imagine, yeah, because you were more conscious than I was during this time.
Yeah, in more ways than one. You were very tired.
Well, no, I more so meant like in like 2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, in an effort to make this as similar to Grin Grappler as possible.
Yeah.
Hiroshi Tanahashi, Khalid. I'll start with you as you're the Nuge guy here. Where does your Tanahashi fandom start? Where did you discover Hiroshi Tanahashi?
ROH. What was it? 2016.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It was a show. I forget. I believe it was the card that had Okada and Shinsuke versus the Briscoes. I believe that was 2016 or 2015. I think he was on that card.
2015, I reckon.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 2015, he was on that card. I forgot who he wrestled on that card. I think he was in. He was either in the singles or like some 6-man or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I believe that's where it starts for me. Just there, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, these New Japan guys, they look cool. They look great. They look really, really cool. And then I venture over, and I believe I watched like my first couple of G1 matches, and I'm like,
the real.
I was like, this is something serious. And then I realized that it's not fake. It's not fake. It's not fake, all right? It's not fake to me anymore. All right, it's not fake at all. And,
Khalid, the match is a very Khalid match. It was Red Dragon versus Tanner and Liger.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes, my first time seeing Liger too. Yes.
That rocks. Joey, as the senior citizen here, apologies. Yep. Where does yours start?
Similar time frame, actually, a little bit sooner. But Tanahashi was like, as people tried to get into New Japan, because people were aware of Bullet Club. And then they were aware when AJ Styles moved over. That was big for like Western eyes because for as much fun as we have at TNA's expense, and rightly so, we will continue to until AMC, of course, in which we'll change our tune. But it did obviously have a genuine TV audience for a long time. So AJ Styles is the face of the operation. Him going over was a big deal. So I think as people tried to familiarize themselves that weren't already like locked in on the Observer or younger fans, I would have been 17 or 18. And so Tanahashi was like one of your first building blocks you had to complete to understand New Japan, because you couldn't explain how New Japan had got here without telling his part of the story, right? So it would be like Tanahashi, Okada, Shinsuke, and then to a lesser extent Naito. And then once you started watching what happened for almost every fan that came in that way, you would then fall in love with Ishii, Katsuyori Shibata, Suzuki, like names of that ilk. And the reason for that was you didn't see wrestlers like that on US TV, right? There wasn't Minoru Suzuki on Raw. There wasn't a Tomohiro Ishii on Raw. I mean, Sheamus was trying his best, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
By contrast, Tanahashi actually suffered from the opposite. A lot of fans, when they first got into it, he wouldn't have been their favorite because he actually was a very US-style pro wrestler. Obviously, he was great at it. You could tell that very, very quickly, but he wasn't going to wow you with sort of shocking physicality, right? He wasn't going to land this big bruising, clubbing blow. That's not the way his style was. He was more in the vein of, a Steamboat, a Michaels, so on and so forth.
He was quicker and more graceful, if you will.
Yeah, so him and Okada's matches, and there's actually one match we're going to talk about today where I remember it being somewhat controversial among Western fans. Like, they were going back to that well. People knew the matches were great. They loved the matches, but they weren't as stylistically distinct. And Tanahashi, as a result of that, was someone who it took me time to figure out, like, why he was so special. Going from, he's a great wrestler, I'd like them to have Okada win so they can start this new era. So then you can be on ground zero as a fan, And then they extend that. They eventually go their separate ways. And it's like, man, he really was the straw that stirred the drink there for me. Like, it was only in hindsight I realized how much I appreciate him. And weirdly, I think for those aforementioned American fans, British fans, whatever, I think he became more beloved in his years from 2016 to 2021, whatever, where he's post-Ace, and you see his value all the more as he battles time and age.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of those matches on the lineup, right, where it's just like, this bloke was so good. I think he's probably to me, he's the best wrestler of the 2010s, I think. Yeah.
I would imagine if he's not, he's at least like top 3.
Right. So
there's a few other candidates, but like he's up there.
He's just grown on me over time, and I got to see him live a few times. I got to see him and Liger, ironically, versus Gedo and Okada at York Hall. I got to see him against Zack Sabre Jr. I think he wrestled Big Damo the night after that Liger tag, which is wild to think about now. Damo wrestled him and Shinsuke one night after another. That was the case. I saw him against Zack Sabre Jr., and obviously I got to see him this summer. A couple of years ago in a tag with Eddie Kingston too, but this summer with the cage, the 10-man.
Mm-hmm.
They could just call it a cage match. Lights out, steel cage, right?
Yeah.
And that was, pretty powerful because as physically damaged as he is, he got an incredible ovation and got a big farewell. So all over the place here, Buster, but man, one of my all-time favorites. And if I was forced to do a greatest wrestler ever, which I will have to be forced because I'm not doing it by choice, he would be in my top 10.
Apologies. Hold on.
That's all right. You're team managing right now because young Donnie just appeared and then disappeared.
Yeah, he's hold on. Brother's not feeling great.
That's all right.
So yeah. I was making sure he knew. You guys did a show, man. Everything's all right.
It's just a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
He said he can power through. Adonis.
Hi. What's up?
Are you okay?
I'm
okay.
I'm okay. We're good.
Excellent. Adonis in the building, folks. We are Cagematch chronicling live.
We're here.
Chronicling.
Hello, Adonis. How are you?
I'm good, dude. I spent the afternoon in bed or playing Dispatch, which is kind of sick, to be honest.
Oh,
bro. I mean, it's incredible, dude. Got a standing ovation in my return at work, and then immediately left. So God bless, in and out. And I'm here to talk about the Ace.
That's true.
It doesn't get any better than that.
So,
in that vein, I'll ask you because I asked the other guys, where does your Hiroshi Tanahashi fandom start, Adonis?
I want to say it actually. I think it's the Did he wrestle Omega in 19? Right before it's the match. Yeah. That one. That's actually the first. Because my friend is the reason I got into Japan, and that was like at the time he swore that was like the greatest match he'd ever seen because he couldn't believe that Tana had like a performance that good. Because I mean, Tana even in 2019 is still pretty.
Yeah, he's badass.
But he's also like pretty
Beat
fucked.
up.
Like his knees, like and even in that match, like he's like struggling, which makes it even more of a like heroic outing. That it's like a 30-minute like war, and it's one of my favorite matches of Omega's career. That was the point where I thought, wait a minute, why have I never seen this guy wrestle? And from there, I was just like, this is one of the GOATs. So that would be my first taste of Tanahashi.
Popped me great there when you said my friend got me into Japan like it was a booking. That rocked.
Are you going booked by Baba?
I talked about this the other day, but for me it was Wrestle Kingdom 10 because the Shinsuke, yeah, because AJ Styles coming to WWE. Listen, bro, I was a Fed soldier at the time. I can say that.
Yeah.
It intrigued me, so I went and watched his match with Shinsuke, and then the main event of that show was Okada and Tana. So I went, who's this hot guy?
So that match, that Wrestle Kingdom, for a lot of fans in the States, overseas, AJ and Shinsuke was like the main event, right?
Yeah.
Because they'd never touched until the tag league when they were building to that match. There was so much excitement. And I think you'd have had to have been the biggest AJ or Shinsuke fan in the world to leave that show thinking they had the best match, because their match is great. I want to be clear, it's great.
It's very good.
But by the time that Okada and Tanahashi ended, it was very clear that the main event was what closed the show.
It goes a step above for
Yeah.
sure, like pretty clearly. It's not super close. All right, our first match. We're going back to 2007. This is versus Yuji Nagata. Cleed. I'll start with you. What do you think of this match?
This match. I hadn't watched this one. I had watched when he beat Giant Bernard, and that was pretty hilarious. And like also remembering that the reason that title was vacant at the time was because of Brock Lesnar. Fucking just hilarious. So going into this match, first thing I noticed, trunks, man. The trunks. I never got used to him in the trunks.
It is weird. It's very
so.
How weird is it? Like, that's full Steamboat. The difference in the vibes when he has the trunks, the tights, is full Steamboat.
It's weird. So like there is no way you could have him beat anyone else besides like an underdog.
It's also weird because like it's not just the trunk, but the trunks are so plain. Like it's the most anti-Tana gear.
Trunks.
Yeah.
They have some words on the back, but I could never read them. But they were like blue words on the back. That was all. It was literally it. Hair isn't like too crazy. It obviously has like the multiple dyes going on, but it's like it's not super long. You don't have the ponytail, the braids, or anything. Like this is bare bones Tana right here. We're doing it right here, and then we have IWGP champ Nagata, fucking anti-aging serum using Nagata. Like it's absolutely insane how. You could just look at him now and be like, are you sure you didn't time travel from 2006? Are you sure you didn't time travel from 2007? It's absolutely insane. They started out with the mat wrestling, and I mean, who's gonna say no to some Tana and Nagata mat wrestling?
Factual.
And not even too far after that, Goto comes out. What the fuck? He just sneaks out there. I popped so.
He's like a big baby.
He's so hot at this time. It's fucking crazy, dude.
He looks so fresh and just whole life.
Yeah, he fucking had that nasty natural pain. And his head is wrapped up, man, and he's out there and he's not even on commentary. He's just out there. It's like and not only is he out there, but he's behind the hard cam is facing the commentary table. He's sitting dead in the middle. The entire match, you see Nagata, you see Tana, and Goto's just there, just yes. It's so fire. Goto's always been cool as fuck. But there's a kick at the ringside. Sounds like a chop. Nagata, like his legs are like shotguns. And throughout this match, I mean, it is quite evident. I mean, as we know, Nagata is a kick guy. Like it is what it is. He is in it with these matches. I mean, we're going to go through different types of kick guys. And Nagata is like the MMA kick guy, like is absolutely insane. And he is wearing Tana out the entire match. But the thing with Tana and with all these other matches is his limb targeting. It is elite. He is up there when it comes to leg work, and then in one of the matches it's the arm, which is absolutely crazy. But he when he gets into those dragon screws, you know you're in for a long match. He's going to have you for 30 minutes, and that leg will be feeling tender. And that's exactly what he does. He's killing this leg the entire match. And the thing about Nagata being champ, and this is something that I talked about with Bus, about champions and their egos. Nagata, he's not a dumb wrestler. He knows he doesn't have to throw kicks, but because he's the champ and he's in there with this young guy who thinks he's about to come in and just take his ace title, he continues to throw those kicks, even though Tana is continuing to counter him and damage that leg more and more. Every time that Nagata throws a kick, he gets on one knee, slaps his leg. There's even a point late in the match, he starts punching it. It's that crazy for him that he's like, I have to throw kicks. Because if he doesn't throw kicks, then he might as well just give Tana the title. Just give it straight up to him. And that's what's going on throughout this entire match. He's throwing these knees, he's throwing these kicks. There's even a point where there's a crossface he puts on Tana, and it's not only is he's squeezing his arm right over his face, right over his mouth. He's also turning his head, and he's just wrenching back, and it looks so nasty. It looks so insane. And that also brings me to Tana's athleticism and just the way he's able to take certain moves and do certain things. One of the things he likes to do is that jumping forearm, that high-ass jumping forearm, and then he does the high-ass jumping elbow on the ground, and then he also does a flipping senton all within 10 seconds. That's some video game shit. That is some SmackDown versus Raw. The opponent is on the ground. I need to spam attacks to keep him down on the ground, and that's what he does. And he goes straight into a pin. The athleticism is absolutely insane. There's a middle rope suplex they do in this match. The bounce, just brutal, absolutely brutal, absolutely brutal. This match, even though it's early Tana and it's like we can say prime Nagata. We can say prime Nagata. Like you can see the tide shifting just in this match alone. You can see the tides just shift in front of everyone's eyes that's there in Ryogoku. And I mean, the crowd there for it, obviously, because I mean, we heard the noise whenever he won. Yeah. We saw that ending stretch. We heard the crowd. There was a point in the match where Red Shoes, he has to get up right on Tana to ask, hey, are you, or no, it was Nagata. He has to get right up on his ear. He's like, you have to say it in my ear. They're too loud in here. You have to say it. He's right in his ear. And then
he's like cupping his ear, and he's like,
he's cupping his ear. Shit, he's like right next to him. Yo, Red Shoes, shout out Red Shoes, man. Shout out Red Shoes. I think Red Shoes did all these matches, didn't he?
Yep.
He did all these. Yeah.
All main events, brother. Yep.
Elite referee. But there was something else they did. Nagata, he pulls the mat up. Mean ass brain buster. Just a mean brain buster. Yeah, exactly. I rewinded it like 3 times just to make sure. I was like, was that a brain buster or was that a suplex? And I seen Tana landed on that neck. I said, ooh, that's a fucking beef buster. Yes, sir. Yes, that's what we like to see. That's what we like to fucking see. There's a point in the match where they do back and forth enzuigiris, and I'm just like, how? Like, how?
Nagata's face when he's doing him too. He's like trying so fucking hard. I love him.
He has a great wrestling face, doesn't he?
He does.
He does. He's perpetually old, dude. He's like one of those people.
He looks so fucking mean in this match too.
He does. Yeah. I mean, and he is a mean fucker in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, these kicks, like some of these kicks are ridiculous. There's times where Tana, like, he'll roll to the bottom rope, and Tana or Nagata will just kick his back, and it's like he's out of play. Like let's relax, and then he'll have the nerve to chase him out the ring and then throw knees on him. Absolutely ridiculous. There's all speaking of Nagata being mean. There's an exploder in this match,
dude. He like forces Tana to land on his neck.
Yes. He like I typed high angle stalling exploder, but like it wasn't even stalling. It was literally he brought him up and then pulled him down.
Yeah.
And Tana just had to tuck. He had to tuck, or he was going to die. He was going to die.
Awesome.
Nagata was trying to kill him. He was trying to kill him out. It's absolutely ridiculous. But he kicked out at one. He kicked out at one. I was shocked. I said, wait a minute. A one kick out to that exploder? That can't be right. That can't be right. Then they go into open palm strikes. Nagata just drops him with a kick. Goes for another kick, gets dragon screwed, and then he puts on that Texas Cloverleaf. I know most of us have seen World's End. If you saw Okada, he did put in that Texas Cloverleaf, and he did some dragon screws. Not too many people caught the dragon screw, but they didn't know about the Texas Cloverleaf. That Texas Cloverleaf is something serious, all right? It's something serious. And there's in one of the later matches, the Naito match, he puts a mean one on Naito.
Yes.
A mean one on Naito. Nagata catches Tana on a sling blade, I believe. Tana's about to do a sling blade. He just wraps around him, gives him the meanest backdrop. One of the meanest backdrops that I've ever seen Tana take. Tana doesn't really do like neck bumps like that. Not too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like, because I don't even think there's any. There might be one in the Ibushi. I think there's one.
No, there's a few in the Ibushi match where he directly just fucking lands on his head. And you're like, you're 50, bro. Relax.
It's insane. But even here, he's young, he's spry, but Jesus Christ, that backdrop is gross. But Nagata doesn't get the hold. Nagata, his finishing hold is the backdrop hold where he holds on. I think Sari Yamaoka, she does that now, but he doesn't get the hold because his legs cooked. His legs cooked. He starts again slapping that leg, punching that leg, and then Tanahashi does a leg capture Michinoku or a leg trap Michinoku. That shit was gross. That shit was absolutely. People say his bag isn't deep. I believe his bag is actually kind of deep, especially in this match.
I mean, it is. I just think he found moves that popped.
Yeah.
He got over. Yeah.
He got.
How
over.
dare he?
It's true. When you get over, you trim your set. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, from the dragon suplex to the dragon sleeper. What else? The Texas Cloverleaf, the high fly flow, sling blade.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you really need. That's just
Twist
5
and
moves
shout,
to do.
maybe.
You know, the twist and shout. Hey, that twist and shout is something serious. It's something serious for sure. The high fly flow. There wasn't one he did to the outside in this match. It was in the other matches, but he does one in this match, and I thought the match was over, and it ends up being 2 count. Absolutely insane. They get up to the top rope. They start throwing headbutts. What are we doing? Whoa. When do we start doing that, Tanahashi? Whoa. Didn't know you was like that. And then after Nagata gets headbutted down, he finally gets a high fly flow and gets the 3. Gets the 3 count. He wins the title, I should say. That was a TV. This card is a TV match card. This all happened on TV.
Fucking hell.
That match was 30 minutes. That Goto Tenzan match happened on TV. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
I know that.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, yo, this happened on TV. But this match, first time watching it, and I really do like this match. Prime Nagata, young Tana, and like I said, you can see the shift of era, of power, of the ace right in front of your eyes in this match. This was nice. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, this match rocks. It's on. It's kind of it's pretty early, but it's kind of a full blown Tana match, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Works the leg for a lot of it. He gets beat the fuck up, and then obviously the glorious comeback. Very basic way of formatting a match, but I think Tana, in my mind, at least later on, becomes kind of the master of it. At least for Japanese crowds, he knows exactly how to get them, rolling whenever the fuck he wants to. Lead, you covered basically everything I wanted to say. I'm not gonna lie. The finishing stretch is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's heated and dramatic and all that shit. The actual finish itself, where Tana has to give those headbutts, and then one final high fly flow to finally kill off Yuji, legitimately felt like that cathartic scene when Jason or Michael, they're finally fucking dead. Jesus Christ!
Finally,
because Yuji kept coming, brother. Pause. He kept fucking going. He was Tana would hit him with fucked up strike after fucked up strike, and Tana or Nagata was just God, fucking screaming at it.
Yeah,
It was fucking awesome. Yeah, this is, I think, only the second time I've seen this match, and it fucking rules. Obviously, just in terms of Tana's career, it holds like that. This is the moment where like he officially becomes the ace of the company, you know. So that's the significance of it all. But it is a fucking awesome match. Joey, did you like this match?
I liked it very much. I think more than that, it was probably the perfect place to start because you're right, it is the Tana match, but I think you can still kind of see the seams on the design a little bit, and that like I think you can see it become. You can see some of the pieces that he would actually sharpen over time, and it also makes for a great mirror to what we end with, because some of Yuji's kind of defiance here and over my dead body almost demeanor, you actually see in Tana, especially in our last match, right? Obviously, Ibushi is not a one-to-one comparison, but there's definitely a vibe of like, no, not yet. That kind of feel. The big thing, you know, Khalid mentioned the athleticism. I'm going to be completely frank. I haven't seen this version of Tana in so long. I forgot he moved like that. To be completely real,
He's wild, right?
They do a crisscross spot at one point, and it's like, just I mean, obviously Yuji too, right? But Tanahashi's so explosive here. My favorite thing about the match because Khalid covered a lot of the action. I loved Tana's the way he played with the audience, is like slight jeers when he started chopping Yuji down. You know, Tana was always open to doing that. That's one of his. It's actually one of the things him and Cena do have in common. Is when it was an away game, a road game, like they both kind of relished the atmosphere and had fun with it in different ways, right? But they both did that absolutely. So that was the things that stood out beyond what Khalid highlighted. I actually wanted to read, because we're going to cover a lot of the same things here tonight. So I wanted to establish this now. There's an excerpt from Hiroshi Tanahashi's book.
Holy fuck.
And while it is very much like take it easy, tell stories, it is interesting when you think about his matches. So I'm going to read this here. He says, here I'm talking about wrestling that you can readily enjoy like fast food. Type of wrestling where you throw in moves after moves and make spots that will make the crowd on their feet as much as possible, so that fans can enjoy them conveniently and efficiently. As a result, wrestlers and matches start to lack in their colour and individuality. In the end, there will be more wrestlers with the same moves, resulting in the same kind of matches. When you think of fast food, it has its benefits for being simple, but in the long run, it has its downside as well. As opposed to the McDonaldization of wrestling, I tried to make every move matter and constructed matches in style that has introduction, development, turn, and conclusion. And he went on to say, I wanted to give attention to the space in between my moves. If I throw in move after move, the crowd will be deprived of the opportunity to enjoy the space. The kind of space that the famous Ric Flair created in his matches. When they are lost, you fail to give the audience the aftertaste of each move. The beauty of pro wrestling will be lost forever. I read that because while there's a lot of overlap there in what we hear a lot of the veterans say, a lot of the veterans say it and it's hard to pair what they're saying with their work.
Yeah.
What makes Hiroshi Tanahashi fascinating is, you said it yourself, he isn't doing anything that's conceptually groundbreaking in these matches. He works a body part. He takes a little control. They do a back and forth. They're going to finish. But there is something to the way he's able to pace his matches and the way he's able to find a drama and build that drama that I think is kind of fascinating. And it feels a little bit like a magic trick when you watch it, because it kind of creeps up on you. And it's like, oh, this thing is really starting to swim. Starting to sing, I should say. And all that quote captured, he was a very thoughtful wrestler, and I think in these matches was said. So I wanted to establish that out the gate. But this match is great. One of the things about Japanese wrestling is when you have, the incumbent and the status quo wrestling for position, struggling over that kind of that throne. The risk control would later become like the most obvious example. But you get a lot of that here where Yuji's basically saying, earn it, and that would obviously prove to be the case. So yeah, this is a great way to start.
That was fucking awesome. That expert.
That was really good.
When did that book come out? I had no idea.
Many years ago. Yeah.
Oh my God.
God, I would say over a decade ago. Certainly. 13 years ago. Yeah.
Jesus.
I had no idea he even had a book.
Yeah. Yep.
Young Donnie. Did you like this match?
What's up?
Did you like this match?
Oh, dude, yeah, I thought this match rocked. Tana, to me, one of my favorite things about him is how present he is in all his matches, and more so how well he's able to incorporate who he is in the present moment to make those matches special. So, like in this match, which I have to bring it up, even though Joe brought it up already. It is staggering how he moves in this match. Like, it actually like scared me that like human beings can deteriorate in movement that quickly. It's a little frightening that he used to move like this. Like, he was running the ropes at like a speed that I was like, you used to like this is you, same person. Oh, you know, made me worry about 20 years from now. But like he uses that to his advantage, right? So one of the things, in contrast to what Joe mentioned, the last match that we're going to talk about, is how Tana uses the fact that he's the young gun in this match to sort of structure that, right? So like when it's a striking battle, when they're doing the striking exchanges, he never gets the upper hand. He always throws one, but it's never as powerful and never has that snap that Nagata's has. So he has to go to the dragon screw. He has to go to the high fly flow because he has no other. He can't stand and fight because he's not battle tested. And so that's what makes the match really interesting, is that you have these sort of two different ideologies of the New Japan style, and you're essentially fighting to keep one instilled and to bring one in. And that's sort of the clash that you see in a lot of, if you're ushering in a new era or a new ace, as it happens in this match, you're essentially trying to introduce a new style to an audience that's used to one. And so I think that's what Tana does super well here, is that he's able to put over how dangerous and effective somebody like Nagata is, who just beats the living piss out of him in this match, while also showing an audience a newer style, a fresher style with his more explosiveness and his athleticism. And ultimately, that's what leads him to victories, the fact that he's able to stay in the fight longer because he keeps it more grounded. He keeps it to the mat. He keeps it to the knee. And so I think it was just more so than a great match. I thought it was a really interesting match to sort of watch how a young Tanahashi structures things, because he is really, for somebody his age and of his speed at the time, really slow. And it's a weird 1-to-1, but like it was kind of like watching Randy Orton in a weird way, just kind of how slow and careful he was to put details in the matches. And so to me, it's fascinating because I'm not too familiar with young Tanahashi. I mostly know 2017, like late 2010s Tanahashi. That's more the wheelhouse I know of. And so it was interesting to see how he paced this match against somebody like Nagata, who, at least in circles that I know of people that have watched him, people can say that he kind of has, similar matches, especially in the big stuff, the world title matches. So it's interesting to see how Tana, in such a early stage of his main event existence, sort of forces a veteran to have his match. Like, it's a Tanahashi match, not just in execution and an outcome, but in how it's paced and how the crowd responds. So it was just a really interesting match to watch as sort of a documentation. If you're going to talk about his career, obviously it's, you mentioned Cena, it's kind of like his Mania 21 moment, except it's an actual good match. So it's really cool. Great match.
Yeah. He didn't have a bunch of those, but things happen. Okay. Hell yeah. Before we go to our next match, there's business to handle in the chat that I forgot to handle at the start. Reg Aaron, new member. It didn't say how long or how many, whatever. But
yeah.
Thank you.
The next member is Grin Gold. I know that.
Okay, well, on it. Thank you. Grin Gold.
Just coming in straight out of the gate, Grin Gold is
beast
crazy.
mode. Yeah,
you will be disappointed. Welcome.
What did that?
I wanted to find out. I never knew what the direct high fly flow influence was. Eddie Guerrero, and it says Eddie Guerrero was the biggest influence to me. Just how beautiful that form was. Him using that move to beat Brock Lesnar definitely left a lasting impression. So it shows you, we talk about that being like one of the great wrestling moments, right? Him winning the belt. Yeah. Shows you the reach of that moment among pro wrestlers, right? That Thanos saw that and was like, that's my fucking finish right there.
Right,
That's pretty cool, dude. It's amazing. Imagine that match.
Eddie's timeless, man. Fucking timeless wrestler.
What would be the best version of Eddie and Tana? Time machine. What we do? Are we going like late 90s heel Eddie, being a greasy, slimy, or are we going veteran Eddie? What do you think?
I think veteran Eddie.
Like 04, 05 Eddie, like the Ray feud.
He would be so nasty in that deal. Bro.
Him paired with like 2013, 2014 Tana's.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah.
At the Dome.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh.
Speaking of 2013 Tana, God, that was good. Versus Kazuchika Okada. April 7th, 2013. I'll go first because I'm low on this
Get
match.
it out of the way, Buster.
When I think of Hiroshi Tanahashi, this to me is his prime. I think it's my favorite version of him. With that being said, I did not love this match. I apologize. I think they do a few interesting things in the first 25 minutes, but nothing extraordinary. The high fly flow to the outside is godly, obviously, and the camera shot is great. We see that in, I think, every other match besides the Nagata match. He does that. It fucking rocks every time. Tana working the arm is actually really fun to watch. There's just not enough of it for me to be like, this is what I like about the start. He just barely does it. So much of the match is Okada in control, and that isn't fun to watch for me, honestly, at this point in my life. I think he gets better at it later on, but I don't think it's his strong suit, to be quite honest. Okada hits the first Rainmaker at 29 minutes, and the preceding 10 minutes are fucking awesome, to be clear.
Yeah.
The crowd is really into it. They swing back and forth. They both get huge bursts of energy, all that shit. I think Okada's offense, this is a observation I had. I think Okada's offense is better when there's like someone actively countering it. Does that make sense? Like he has someone to play off of more like faster, you know? Where he's not just fucking
Kenny, Naito, AJ.
I've never
shit
thought
like
about
that.
that till you just brought it up, but that's a good point.
It made sense in my head. It might just be bullshit, but like it made sense in my head. I don't know. The battle for the pile driver that they have is awesome. Yeah, I mean it's a good match. I didn't love it. It is fine. It takes a while to get going, but when they do, it's at that point it actually becomes great. I felt I felt the runtime, I guess.
Interesting. This is one of the highest rated matches we watched, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Cagematch Chronicles on Cagematch. This has got to be the 1 seed, I think.
Probably, yeah. It's either this or the Ibushi match, I think, right?
Yeah.
The Ibushi one is higher, but yeah, this is the third one, 9.65.
Blimey.
Jesus
Hot
Christ.
take here, Buster, mate. You're on the.
I don't think. I mean,
you didn't dislike it. You just thought it was a bit dry for the first.
Yeah, I would
25
instead of a
minutes.
9.65, I'd go maybe like a fucking
7.8.
7.6.
Yeah.
Hey. Sorry.
I said 7.6, not the same thing.
All right.
Not the
Yeah,
same
can't
game.
do, you
No,
can't do the reverse. Can't do
you
it.
can't.
Okay.
All right,
So let's
let's
do
just
this.
go. Let's
okay?
go in order. Joey.
Well, this is perfect because you've established your, and I'm not going to go play by play. Here's what I'm going to say. I've watched this match a few weeks ago in Self-Made, and I watched it multiple times this week. This match has a hold over me because when I saw this match, I was pretty convinced it was the best wrestling match I'd ever seen, which is very funny contrast to Buster's experience with it, watching it this week. I found this match. I was looking for the Access TV versions. It may have still been HDNet. I think it was Access TV by that point of the show. Remember the highlight show? I think it was still HDNet. But either way, the point is, New Japan got a TV deal in the States, and it was a highlight show. So it was like 2015.
It was
They were
Access.
showing matches.
It was Access. It was
Access. They were showing clips from 2013. They were going through like the big matches.
Mm-hmm.
And it had Mora and Aloe.
Yes,
And
and
Josh
Barnett.
Barnett on commentary.
Yeah.
And this was like a big deal, dude. Like, it sounds insane now and ridiculous, but like this blew people's minds. And I think this wins like Observer Best Weekly TV Show, which is, I mean, complete fraudulent win. I mean, just no way that should work like that. But even still, it won. So I was trying to find this TV, because obviously, look, now when you become a fan of Japanese wrestling, you become one of those people that goes, I'm a Japanese commentary guy, you know?
Yeah.
But when you try to get into it, it's pretty daunting to watch it with Japanese commentary.
Yeah.
So I was all about this, and I loved Mora Ronaldo because I was such a huge mark for him in Strike Force and Pride. I was a huge MMA fan. So I found these episodes through like one of those early watch wrestling joints, and you get to know the guys, and like Okada pops because he's called the Rainmaker and he looks really cool with a big robe and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching this match and being like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, I'd never seen anything like this in my life. So whenever I watch it, it takes me back, and I've now seen it like 4 times in the last month. But like, I definitely can see what you're saying, and like Okada is dry, he is, but I don't know, man. There's something to this dynamic that I just find to be like.
I think
It's
they
just
have way
magic,
better matches
you know?
later on. I mean, I said that earlier, but like later on, they
What
do
would
actually have
be your
matches I love.
favorite? The dome.
I think
one?
it is. Yeah, I think it is the Dome.
I'd see this and that. This one and that one would be my 2 favorites. I don't know. I know some people love the King of Pro Wrestling one.
It's been so long since I've seen it. I don't even know.
I get it. I think Tana is sensational in this. I think we agree on that. There's something about Sumo Hall when it's like this that's like, is there a better building in the world to watch pro
sure, yeah.
wrestling from, you know, the other side of the planet, right? Is there if you could just drop your two favorite wrestlers in a setting where they're over, it's like, this is it, right? The sound this place makes,
Yeah.
oh my God. As you mentioned, the final 10 minutes are electric, but more than anything, because I'm sure the lads will go through the details and, you know, we may get different perspectives, I don't know, but for me personally, this is like, comfort match is the wrong way to put it because it's a 40-minute epic, but there's something about this that takes me back in time, and I do worry a little bit. I think it still does hold up. I think Buster just probably has a little bit of Okada fatigue, right? You'd be the first to say.
Yeah.
I do think this probably does struggle a little bit by comparison to its original standards in the sense that there have been so many epics since in this mold. It doesn't affect me because I remember it like that. You know what I'm saying? But like if you showed a 16-year-old like, here the New Japan greatest hits, I think this would blend in more than it does for me in my memory. I don't know that. It's just a guess, but
Sounds like it makes sense.
I think this match is incredible. I love it, and I actually think it's one of Tanahashi's best performances, personally. But I'm intrigued what the lads thought.
Khalid, feel free. Call me a dumbass.
I'm not even gonna do the whole, you know, play by play, you know, everything, all that stuff. I'm not even gonna do all that. All I'm gonna talk about is I'm kind of like Joe, to where I go back to this match like pretty often, or like my 30th time watching the match. Every time I go back, I feel like I find out something new, or I just think of something new. I'm like, wow, like that might have been the way that they were going about this. So I'm gonna go and say what I discovered for myself in this match. To me, and obviously knowing the context of like 2013 New Japan, Okada, Tana, like just knowing everything that's going on. Going into the match, and when it first starts, to me, the dynamic, it just feels like it's just two people who underestimate each other, but they're doing it in different ways. Tana looks at Okada like you're just way in over your head. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm not going to be disrespectful about it, but I just got to let you know that I'm the ace. You're not me. But he's not cocky about it. It's not cocky. Okada, on the other hand, he's like, yo, your time has passed. I'm the Rainmaker. I make shit rain. This is my title. And that's like in that dynamic of like,
it's true.
I'm the Rainmaker. I make shit rain.
But it's true, though.
No, I get it. Yeah.
There's so much like, it's like undertone disrespect.
Yeah,
so much.
It's super undertone. Like when they go for the Okada signature chest spot where he gets him up on the rope.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm about to hit you. No. Okada immediately says, boy, what the fuck? You know what this is? But then Okada says, I don't give a fuck. Get your ass in that corner. Backs up. Making it rain, pussy. That's exactly what he does. That shit is so hard. That shit is fire to me. That shit is fire. So it's like, what Buzz said about, you know, Okada having control, I absolutely understand. Like, it is not the most riveting stuff. You are absolutely right. But it's just with this time when I watch and I'm thinking about that dynamic, I'm like, man, like he's really in Tana's head because Tana can't get control. Because he's really like, holy shit, this young guy might really be better than me. Holy shit, I'm really in trouble. And even when Tana does get control, right? So I mean, this is like way later in the match, where Tana starts cooking that arm. He starts cooking that arm. And they get into a forearm exchange, I believe. Or no, it's Okada doing forearms. And then every time he does a forearm, he drops to one knee. Tana picks up his arm and uppercuts it. Every single time. Uppercuts his arm. He says, fuck, oh my God, my arm. Says, all right, I can do this shit. Forearms him, drops, tries to recover. And then it gets to a point, Tana says, okay, so you're not learning your lesson. You're young. You're not learning your lesson. So then he goes uppercut, back elbow to the same arm, uppercut, back elbow to the same arm. Just goes back and forth until he just drops. And it's like, oh my God, he's cooked. There's no way he's delivering that Rainmaker. It's impossible. It's impossible. And I feel in my head, I've seen people work Okada's arm before. And usually what happens is he tries to do the Rainmaker and it's a weak Rainmaker. It's a very weak Rainmaker.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. It didn't happen. And this is probably one of the only times it didn't happen, where he delivers just a flat out weak Rainmaker to the point to where the person is still standing. We've seen it with Ospreay. We've seen it with Shibata. We've seen it with everyone. Everyone. He goes for the Rainmaker. It's weak. This time right here, when he hits the Rainmaker, it connects and it hits, but it's not
enough.
It's not exactly. It's not enough, and that's because he's in there with the goddamn ace. He's in there with the fucking ace. But other things I wanted to talk about this match. This is some random shit. The submission that Okada does, the commentator refers it as red ink.
Yes.
That is the Regal stretch. Why the fuck is he doing the Regal stretch? Where the fuck did he get the Regal? Who taught him the Regal stretch?
He has, like, in this era, he has so many moves that have, like, money pun names that he just gradually gives in on over time.
Yes.
Like, there's that weird pervert one he does where he wrenches the guy's arms.
The step through one.
Yeah.
The step through where he like. Yeah. I didn't know what that was. I'd never seen him.
By the end of the decade, he's like trimmed so much of it. But
Let's do the money clip.
Yeah, the money clip.
Yeah, I mean, like,
the
money clip is
maybe the ultimate heat check in wrestling history, right?
For real.
I'll get him. I'll get him.
Absolutely. But yeah, the late part of this match, I think after when he does the standing high fly flow, and then he goes sling blade, he does a standing high fly flow, sling blade, dragon suplex, all into the craziest, the closest 2 count you will probably ever fucking see. It probably was a 3 count. I'm not gonna lie to you. It probably was a 3 count, but they said 2, so it's fucking 2. All right, Red Shoe says it's 2, and it's fucking 2. It's one of the closest 2 counts ever. Then he goes for the high fly to the back, and it seems like, okay, the match is probably about to be over. He just hit a standing high fly flow, sling blade, dragon suplex with the bridge, high fly to the back. He's going for the high fly flow to the front, and it looks like it's good. And Okada gets the knees up
Late.
Tana's falling down. He's probably at the top rope falling down, and he gets those knees up. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God, he's about to fucking do it. The Rainmaker shot, he's about to fucking do it. Like, I haven't seen the match multiple times before. Gives him the goddamn drop kick to the back.
The goddamn drop kick.
The goddamn. Oh wait, no, the first drop kick Okada does in this match. He is literally, his head is like 3 feet higher than Red Shoes. I swear to God. That's it. And I wanted to screenshot it, but New Japan, they really done.
They would have sniped us, bro.
It would have been over.
They blacked the when you press the screenshot button, the print screen button, they black out the fucking screen. I didn't know they did that. I said, what the fuck?
Bro, the only other person I know that does that is like Peacock and Netflix.
Like, whoa, I didn't know on that level yet. Holy shit. And then I tried to do the Xbox one. They blacked it out too. I was like, oh,
God damn.
They got some supreme coding going on.
They said no publicity. Fuck
You went
that.
above and
No
beyond, bro. You went to fucking
And-
Xbox. Beast mode.
Like, what? Like, I had to try it all.
Flat up his lip. He's Xbox instead.
I had to try it. I needed that screenshot because Okada, he's soaring like Jordan. He's in the. He has at least a high 30-inch to low 40-inch vertical. Absolutely, he could probably take basketball.
What a fucking spectrum.
It's absolutely ridiculous. He's insane. And then
Play basketball.
he could have been Russell Westbrook for sure.
What the fuck?
He was absolutely insane. The way he's jumping just vertical like that, ridiculous. But speaking of another time he got a bunch of air, the elbow drop. This is when he used to jump on his elbow drop. Now he does the leaning elbow drop. When he jumped on that damn elbow drop, I said, wait a minute. Why is he in the sky for 10 seconds? What is going on?
Used to be better.
That's what I'm saying. But then Brian gets his arm broken and now he don't want to jump no more. That shit so whack to me. Like, it was Brian, bro. You can jump on the elbow drop. My fault. But anyways, going back to the late match part. Tana, he has Okada in like this arm wrench. He's doing an arm wrench. Okada gets around, goes for the Rainmaker. No, another arm wrench. Okada finally, after like, I want to say it was like 3 attempts. I want to say it was about 3 attempts of that tombstone. There was multiple times where he had him up, and he flipped out of it or whatever. This time it fucking lands, and even the crowd knows, because I guess at this point, and it probably is the case, because obviously I've went back and watched 2013 stuff, but I don't remember too much Okada, but I know that the tombstone, when he would hit the tombstone, the Rainmaker was guaranteed to follow, and the crowd knew that every single time. He ends up changing it because it becomes too predictable, and he goes for the German. He starts doing the German into the Rainmaker. But right here, he does the tombstone. The crowd erupts when it lands because he's like, holy shit, he's about to hit the Rainmaker. And he hits that Rainmaker. Fucking 3 count. To me, like Joe said, it's always gonna sit with me personally. It is always gonna sit with me. I feel like one day I am gonna watch it and be like, man, Okada, like, why is this shit so fucking slow? Like, what are you doing? But
hopefully not.
For now,
for your sake, I hope that does not happen.
Yeah, I mean, for now, it won't be the case. Like Joe said, Tana performance in this match. To me, Tana is the best hope wrestler. And what that means is he just gives the audience hope.
Yeah.
It is, no matter what it is. I mean, because most of the times he is a face, even though there was times in his match like earlier on where he's locking onto holds past the count, and they're booing him. They're like, yo, let go of that fucking count. Let it go. Let go of the hold. And he's like, all right, my bad. But even then, the crowd is still behind him. They're still like, yo, but hold on. This is Tanahashi. He's the champion of the Lion Mark. Hold on. Wait a minute. He does not need to lose here. But he does end up losing here. But even then, like, just the amount of hope he gives the audience, like, yes, I'm going to defend this title and I will still continue to be your champion. But he falls short here because what? He underestimated the young guy. Oh my goodness, such a great match, such a great match. I love that match. Love that match. Yeah.
Safe to say you liked it.
Yeah. Cleed and I like this match.
That's fair. Adonis, did you also like this match?
This is so weird because, like, if you ask me about Okada Heat segments now, I'd probably have to like find you for emotional distress. There is something oddly weird about, like, I like how slow he is in this match because it makes me want to see Tana just kick the shit out of him even more. Because he's walking around like a Sims character. Like, you're right, Buster. He's walking around like a Sims character on low energy for like 15 minutes. But then every time Tana just gets him, I'm like there's a moment towards the end where like Okada's going for the drop kick and he's so smug about it. Like, yeah, I'm just going to nail you in the face. And Tanahashi just stays firm on the ropes and he takes his time and I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Like, yeah, get fucked. And he fucking lands on his ass and Tana clocks him with the forearm. And it's just, he doesn't get the win in the end, so the cathartic moment of seeing that little punk kid get his isn't fully realized. But it's in those moments in the match where Tana is just staying in it through sheer experience and will of attrition, where Okada, you can see it in his face during those like exchanges where he's falling to a knee like, wait, I've never swam this deep before. What am I doing? Hold on. Do I have this in me? And he's being tested, and this crowd is losing their mind. And it's one of those things where I think if I watch this match back in like, because I haven't seen this match and I think this is 2 years, I think, since I last seen it. And if I watch it again in 2 years, I'll probably think, Jesus, bro, can you do anything, please? I beg you. Like, let me add 3 finishers, bro. Like, it's a 2K game. Just do anything. But there's something specific about Tanahashi and how much these people love him and how much they hang on to him, giving them, like Khalid said, any hope that he's going to win and he's going to keep this belt away from this little fucker, that is just so captivating to watch, even when it's monotonous and it's a cycle of just Okada walking around grabbing a hold. It's that tombstone pile driver struggle sequence at the end where Tana's like holding on to his waist. He's trying so hard not to get lifted up. And Okada, just because he has the endurance, because he's younger, he has it in him and he lifts him up and he gets it. And I think this match is just so well structured within the constraints of an Okada match, because this to me is more of an Okada match in how it's paced. But Tanahashi is such an adaptable wrestler that even in a match that's slower than is normal, he still finds a way to make it interesting. Like, it's interesting to see him just try to speed things up, to force this kid to fight, to stand and fight, not just grab a hold, to actually stand in the middle of this fucking ring and throw hands. Because if I'm going to die, I'm going to die punching you in the head and letting you know that I am the ace of this company. So if nothing else, it's another case of the match being really interesting to just watch, to see how Tanahashi blends his style of match into somebody else's world and sandbox. And these crowds, man, it's for all these matches, these crowds are just
They're so locked in.
Some of the loudest crowds I've ever heard. It's why they make this argument for a match at Mania 18 that we all know, where they're like, well, if you watch it with the sound off, it's like, fuck you. What the fuck is that? Watch wrestling with the sound off. Why? You lose the magic of what guys like Tanahashi are doing, where they're giving these crowds something to care about. That's what wrestling is. It's all about connection and feeling. And this match made me want to see Tanahashi beat this kid's ass. 2 thumbs up.
I want to say this is actually interesting. So I don't think there was an Okada match at the time of this match. What I think we're seeing here is, and this is something that I think, that's not fair. I won't go there. So this is the Tanahashi match extended and bigger and badder and louder than ever, right? And the reason for that is this is his ultimate rival. This is the guy who we know is going to dethrone him eventually, and this match does, but he actually, God, it's another nearly 3 years until he actually fully takes the mantle. And I think the reason Adonis said it's an Okada match isn't wrong. Okada takes this blueprint and makes it his own, which is why we've had the extension over time. Because you have to think, this match is 14 months into like the Rainmaker story. 14 months, dude. 14 months ago in wrestling, like what was, most of the guys were in the same place they're in now, right?
Yeah.
Okada wins the belt. He shocks the world. Rainmaker shock. That's February 2012, I believe. He loses it back. He wins the G1, which very much like that kind of legitimizes like he's here to stay as a top guy.
Yeah, it wasn't just a one-time thing.
They split the dome where Tana works with Shin, which we talked about the other day, right? Or is that the year? I'm getting confused. But either way, they may work the dome this year, actually. But nonetheless, the point is, at this point, the Okada match in main events really is only a pronounced thing against Tanahashi. His other main events, I don't remember, like, I'm sure there are notable ones I'm forgetting. I remember the Naito stuff being, like, up and down. And there's a Suzuki match that I think struggles. But he's still finding who he is as a main event wrestler. And it's remarkable to think this kind of outline is like what Okada would eventually make his match, which I thought that was an interesting thing in terms of perspective. Adonis has seen this match template a million times because Okada made it his, right? But what Tanahashi actually was doing was taking his usual blueprint and adding way more like color and broad strokes and these bigger set pieces, because the whole point was this is the guy. And it's a 4-year, I mean, they would wrestle after 2016 many times, but it's a 4-year story, basically.
I think it's interesting that you brought that up, because I think it speaks to what Buster was saying about him not liking the match. A lot of this stuff is so in the moment too, because like that's something, my perspective on it is something that I wasn't there like you were, Joe, or Khalid, who watched all this stuff back really heavily. I wasn't there when this match happened, so to me, like the Okada formula, like you said, is something that I'm used to because I've seen it a million times. But I can imagine in 2013, it felt like something completely new because he had never been. This is one of his biggest tests to this point, because again, like you said, it's only 14 months into the story of the Rainmaker. So it's interesting to watch, especially critically acclaimed matches, like a match like this, and really the entire Tanahashi Okada rivalry, which I watched, I think, all their matches during COVID, which is, I think I sat down through like a week and I watched all of them. It's interesting to watch stuff like that back through the lens of not being there, but being familiar with the two guys as opposed to being connected to them in the moment. I think there's a difference in how you approach consuming wrestling when you're connected versus when you just are familiar with the work.
Yeah.
I just had a look at the Naito match from the anniversary show is great. And that's like a big moment for Okada because I think that's like his first title defense after shocking the world. The Dome match that I was misplacing is 3 months before this, and I think is like probably their weakest match in that first leg of the rivalry outside of the shock itself. Because the shock itself is not really like, it's more of a moment than a match. As weird as that sounds. So this match, I'm just looking here at what Okada did in between. Like, this was a really big point of, oh, he's for real. You know, this is not a thing to get Tana for a couple of years. This is the guy. Dragon said, the Naito match, from what I recall when I'm looking here at just the responses at the time, that's a big one. Other than that, I think, like, there's some hits, there's a couple misses, but mostly it's just they're not quite, he's not filling the shoes of Tanahashi.
Yeah.
But obviously he grows into the role, and this was a big part of that, I think.
For sure. You guys owned me.
I actually think it's the opposite, where it's like
I'm kidding.
context,
Yeah.
As Brian Daniels has said when talking to loss, context is everything,
Which everyone should listen to that podcast. Bro.
True. I think Adonis kind of nailed it. Where like I'm more familiar with Okada than I am connected. Because like, I mean, listen, the Omega matches are great, but I've never been like Okada's never been my guy.
He's not your guy.
What I mean? Yeah.
But that's normal. You don't have to be. You don't have to sort of go like be even-handed with everything. Go, I promise I like him. It's like it is what it is, isn't it? Like
that's the thing. I mean, I do like him sometimes.
You like him, yeah, but you're not going to sit there on a Monday morning and go, let's watch some Okada. It's just not. It's not that level for you. Yeah.
Before we get into our next match, Tyler asks, if this show is pretty much Grin, Grappler, Tanahashi, which of you four is Alex? I feel like in this moment it is Joe.
Yeah,
he's got all the context and he's doing all the research and he thinks he's cool.
I'm wearing a specifically chosen shirt too.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed that. That's how fucking blind I am. I can't see shit till just
to be
now.
fair, I didn't know it. I didn't notice either.
It's very faint. To be fair, very faint.
How long ago did you get that shirt?
Long time, bro. Still fits, bro.
I like how Joe took that pause, like he's like been on the road for like a decade. He's like,
this is an old shirt, man.
He's like, I got a story for this shirt.
The pink is fried on this shirt.
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, speaking of fried, Shinsuke Nakamura is our next
Come
match.
on, man.
I'm telling you, I'm on fire now.
This
is the 2015 G1 final, our first of two G1 finals, actually. Joey, I'll let you go first because you haven't gone first yet. What did you think of this match?
Dude, this is another one. So this was my first G1 that I watched front to back. I watched every match of the 2015 G1. 90% of them I watched live. We talked about this the other night on Pro Time Capsule. This was the first G1 where they split the crews.
Yeah.
They didn't split them in like as in they were doing different shows, but as in A block took precedent one night and they would have the block matches. The other guys would do Road 2 kind of style tags. Boom, B block the next night, so on and so forth. And so the guys had to do, like if you were Tanahashi, you had a 20-minute main event most nights that you were gonna have a block match. I was desperate for Shinsuke Nakamura to win the G1. He submits Kazuchika Okada via armbar in the de facto semi-final, and I lost my shit. I was so excited. He tapped him out, and they did a little fist bump at the end, and I was like, "That's the Dome match." Okada Shinsuke. They'd barely touched it. They're going to wrestle at the Dome, and then they're going to split Chaos into two different super groups, and they will fight forever. And Machine Gun Carl Anderson will turn babyface and join one of the groups.
What the?
And then AJ Styles will join the other group, and it will be Shinsuke and Anderson versus Okada and Styles. None of that happened.
No.
I was going to say, play universe mode.
The 2015 G1 is so sensational that the de facto semifinals and finals, those three matches, I think this is the worst of the three. And I think this is probably a full five.
Yeah.
The level this promotion reached at this time is legitimately like, it's every bit as good as you remember it being. Yeah,
I think like
it really is.
In terms of, it being popular, 2017, 2018 is probably like the peak of that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like actual like match quality, 2015, 2016 is like, oh yeah.
We've talked about Tana a lot. This is his show. We will continue to. This feels like an opportunity to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura and what he was at this time, which is the coolest wrestler that's in the history of the world at this current time. His entrance in WWE is so iconic that you forget how fucking cool his entrance was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This pairing is one that's always... It never feels on paper to me as natural. And then you watch them work and you go, oh my God, it's so natural. Like it's weird because Shinsuke is obviously a great wrestler, but he's a little bit more like jerky and unconventional because he has some weird quirks to his style. And again, Adonis mentioned the versatility, the flexibility stylistically of Tanahashi. This has more rhythm than the usual Shinsuke epic, I think it's fair to say. This is very much a Tanahashi match. This is for my era of New Japan, this is like your definitive epic. You know, like they put in a ton of time. They have a slow build.
Mm-hmm.
It climbs more and more. A lot of these matches that we were out to about, because we're out to go G1 centric, a lot of these matches, context is not, it's not like pivotal necessarily, but it does add to it because the guys have gone through such a journey to get there, right?
Yeah.
And there's obviously a ton of history between these two. This would be, unless I'm somehow forgetting something, their last singles match.
Yeah, it is. It is their last.
And just to be completely honest, this is way off track, and I'll let Let's talk about the match in a second. But I love the match, but it kind of bummed me out, to be honest with you, watching it, because I think my wrestling fandom would have took a different path entirely if Shinsuke just stays in New Japan.
For sure. I was, dude,
which is weird.
I don't.
Like, true.
I didn't comment or I didn't put any like notes about it. But like as I was thinking about it, I just the amount of shit we could have gotten if he stayed. And
it's look, the reality is, you know, we this morning watched Naito and we saw what it did to his body, and like, God bless Shin, right? I mean, he got out, he's lived a good life,
he
he's
can
made
fucking
a lot of
surf
money.
now.
He can surf, and he's, you know, in 20 years there'll be kids that go, man, the first Japanese wrestler I saw was Shinsuke, won the Rumble, you know, and that matters. I'm not trying, but just as a wrestling fan, it's like, this is just where he was supposed to be. I mean, just, I don't know if there's ever been, and what was so brilliant about it was, this was Tanahashi's New Japan, and Shinsuke was able to be an outlier within his own home, which is such a rare thing you can get in wrestling. You usually are in your home promotion, or you have to go outside and be this outside force. Shinsuke is New Japan to his core, but because of how fucking weird he was by this point, he feels like this. He's like different to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
And Naito kind of steps into that once Shin goes, because Naito's already flying in the LIJ. So that was my main fault. I just loved watching it. It's just a beautiful pro wrestling match. They put in a ton of time. This again, Sumo Hall, heat, drama, excitement, emotion, that kind of baked in history between everything they do. Unbelievable match, and made me very reminiscent about Shinsuke Nakamura, who at this time is one of the highest wrestlers in the world. Just straight up, plain and simple.
I think, for my money, at this point, probably is the coolest wrestler. Like, at least of the 2000s, or like, you know, whatever, not 2000s, but you know, up to this point. I fucking love this match. It for sure is a Tana match, but I really fucking love how at all times it feels like both guys are like fighting for control rather than either one of them having it. So like you'll get, I mean, they'll have their moments, you know, a minute or two each, but like pretty quickly one of them, you know, one of them either hitting a sling blade or whatever it is to reverse it back. It's like that. The first part of the match is like just as electric to me as the final minutes. And it pays off because in that, you know, the finishing stretch, they are fucking exhausted, bro. It's I forgot how cool Shinsuke looks when he's like just drenched in sweat.
He's fucking tired with he's
just tired,
bro, the long
and
hair
he's, like,
and the
he's
pants,
screaming and shit. Like it's so sick. The high fly, I think it's maybe the lone example in the history of wrestling where like somebody holding onto the ropes and getting hit with a move is like actually looks good, because the high fly flow that Tana hits when Shinsuke's holding onto the ropes is godly. It's fucking incredible. From the first Bomaye that Shinsuke hits to the, you know, the actual finish of the high fly flow where Tana wins, I think this is like actual perfect wrestling. Like, I mean, I agree with Joe. This is a 5, but especially that section of the match it's perfect. It really is. I was reminiscing greatly about Shinsuke Nakamura, even though I didn't watch his career very much live. Same as Joe. It was this is an awesome match. Up to this point, my favorite match easily. Adonis. Did you like this match?
So I'll do some quick notes I just have to bring up. There's a backstabber that Shinsuke hits. I'm gonna say hits because he barely hits it, but it looks fucking insane. He like hits him with one knee, and I'm like, well, there goes that guy's back. The armbar sequence where they're just rolling through constantly. I thought that was sick. Sumo Hall, awesome. Shinsuke, the coolest guy in the world. But folks, I gotta be honest, not for me.
Really?
Yeah, this one,
Mark.
I don't. Yeah, I'm a fucking mark. I don't know. I just
I'm kidding. I didn't like fucking Okada and Tana, man.
that's okay. No, this one's weird because this is one of those matches where like I recognize that it's like a good match, but like I was sitting watching and I just thought, huh. Like that's
Not
really
enough
the only
views.
thought that came to my head. It was a lot of good work, but it was a lot of good work that didn't resonate with me. You know,
Okay,
like,
so have you seen the semi again? It's
No.
not you know. Have you seen Tanahashi and AJ?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Do you like that match?
I do.
Okay, so maybe this was a Shinsuke problem. Maybe you've seen too many of his US title matches, and it
Well,
just
Yeah. Maybe
That's-
this is
that's
about
true.
Shinsuke dropping John on his fucking head.
personal.
It's personal. bro.
Oh,
dude, I
Dude,
swear
that
to God, I
was-
actually had forgotten about
That
no,
was a
man.
crazy moment. Dude.
It was, dude.
I mean, yeah,
I thought
I mean,
he'd killed
yeah,
John Cena. I was very
He
Wasn't
thought
that
he
like
killed
the
John
moment where
Cena.
Shinsuke kind of like
he thought he was gonna get fired.
he was like mega de-emphasized on TV or some
Yeah, he
shit?
lost to Jinder for
Yeah.
2 straight.
I don't think
pay-per-views.
Vince ever really got Shinsuke right.
Well, yeah,
No.
to be fair.
In-ring promo segments. Shinsuke Nakamura will speak on SmackDown.
the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura.
Good stuff.
but,
No, it was one of those things where I thought it, Buster, you know what it was, honestly, it was a lot of the same problems you have with the Okada match where I felt like this one for some reason took a while to get going and it just didn't. I will agree with you, the closing stretch, as it is for all these matches, is electric. It's the way that these crowds come unglued at the thought of every near fall and every big move. It's all that stuff is just you can't help but get lost in that stuff. To me, the work leading to that just didn't really hit me as well. It felt kind of plodding. It felt like there's a lot of walking around and a lot of stalling. It reminded me, this is such a weird, like, there was a Randy Savage match that they unearthed on the vault. I won't say against who because
Jerry
we're on
Lawler.
the air. Well, okay.
Jerry Lawler.
That match is like
The King.
30. No, that match is like 35 minutes long, and the first like 15 minutes are them walking around as Randy Savage like baits getting in the ring, and like I can understand the appeal of that, but like it felt like that except they were in the ring the whole time. It's just sort of like it's double heat. They do their stuff, and then it gets to a closing stretch, and I was like, it felt like the closing stretch for me personally wasn't earned. The excitement of it wasn't earned for me.
that's fair.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
It was fine. It's not bad. There's no Universe Series match is bad. A match with this cool a closing stretch, it's not bad. It's just didn't
It's
really
fine.
sit with
I
me.
mean, I only think less of you.
I mean, you already did though.
Yeah, it's fine. I had Joe with that line earlier. Pump my fist. Hey, hey, Cleet.
yo.
Did you like the professional wrestling match?
I believe I did. I did.
Okay.
indeed like this professional
I
wrestling.
believe I did.
This match to me, not in terms of dynamic, because I mean we already know about the dynamic. We covered this on Pure Time Capsule. Tana and Shinsuke. This is pure rivalry. Between people who have debuted at the same time. You want to talk about Shinsuke? Shinsuke was pushed to have the throne earlier than Tana, and it just didn't go as well as it did with Tana. So it is what it is. We're here about 10 years later in their final match. Well, we didn't know it was going to be their final match at the time, but it ended up being their final match. And to me, I find this pretty funny because this match, in terms of the work, not to a T, obviously, but after watching the Nagata match again, like I feel like this and the Nagata match are kind of similar in a way with the dynamic of Shinsuke being a kick person and a strike heavy person, and Nagata being a strike heavy person, and how Tana has to kind of approach that match because he's not a strike guy. He's not good with strikes. And Shinsuke, not only is Shinsuke a kick guy, but he's a unorthodox kick guy. Like that. Yeah. His finisher, at the time the Bumaye, it comes out of nowhere. He does it like 4 times this match, and there's
one of them where it's like he's like right as Tana's getting up, and it's oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, there was one where I didn't even think he was going to hit it. He was I believe it was the armbar. Tana Tana steps on his face, and he walks out to the middle of the ring holding his arm. down, Shinsuke immediately gets up,
I think that's what I'm
Boom.
talking about. It's fucking
just hits
sick.
him straight in the face, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like that is crazy. By the way, the meaning of the move, Bumaye, it is from Muhammad Ali. He did a boxing match in Congo against George Foreman, like 1971. And the crowd, they yelled Ali Bumaye. Bumaye means kill him. Fucking absolute fire. And then when he went to WWE and he changed the name to Kinshasa. Kinshasa was where the boxing match took place. Yeah. Shit is absolutely amazing.
74, Khalid. I have to create.
I'll
get very mad at myself tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, Joe's a boxing guy.
That's the Rumble in the Jungle. That's the one you probably hear the phrase rope a dope.
Yeah.
Where Ali soaks up all the shots on the ropes. Yeah, that's from that film. But I had to do that because I'm a lunatic. Carry on.
But yeah, like having this knee strike be named to basically kill him, and you're just seeing the way he's nailing these fucking knee strikes, these Bumayes, just absolutely insane. There's also Shin does the punch in this match where he fucking clocks and the mic picks it up like really hard. It sounds like a absolute thud the way he punches him. I'm surprised Red Shoes didn't like pop up in his face. Was like, no fist, no fist, no fist. Because that's usually what he does. He's usually like, hey, we're not doing no fucking fist here. But I guess it happened too fast for him, or he didn't see it because he fucking clocked him. The like Adonis said, the armbar spot where they're like rolling around and shit. That was so cool to me because it was obvious like he was going for the armbar and Tana was too close to the ropes. So they were like, okay, we want to do this armbar thing, but we need to roll around to get away from these ropes. And that's exactly what they do. And it looks awkward, but this is a fight. So of course it's going to look awkward. So as they're trying to vie for control, eventually they get to a spot where Tana cannot touch those ropes. And then they lock in that armbar. And I was just like, yes, that is what we do here at the Lion Mark. That is absolutely what we do.
At the Lion Mark.
That is what we fucking do here. The leaning high fly flow, like Bus said, obviously leaning spots, it's here or there, sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're not. Right here, obviously, is cool as fuck because Shinsuke doesn't hold on to the rope the entire time. He lets go, obviously. Yeah. And it just looks good. It looks good. He also did do he does do the outside one in this match. I believe it was this match. The camera angle, the way they shot it for not the replay, but just when it actually happened, it looks like he went up so fucking high. I was genuinely scared.
They always shoot from low, so it's like
yes. I believe they've done that with like Kenny a couple times where he does and they'll shoot right under him, and it just
that's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. One thing I noticed about the outside high fly flows, and it's also in the last match too. I don't think it was in this match. It was definitely in the last match. The technique that Tana does so he doesn't hit his knees on the outside is absolutely insane. He does a high fly flow. The person catches him, and they fall back, obviously. But Tana is able to get his foot down and combat roll, kind of. Yeah, and combat roll out of it. And I just find that shit so crazy because, you see a lot of people try to move their legs on these landings, and then they end up fucking themselves. They end up spraining something, they're tearing something, or it's just something completely gruesome. But the fact that he's able to just combat roll from about he's high up there. He's pretty he's high up there.
That's gonna be a brutal catch, right? Has to be.
Oh yeah.
It always looks like it is in all the matches.
Tana's not a small guy.
Yeah. And guess
Tana
what, bro?
Is not small.
Don't catch him. Good luck coming back to New Japan. Yeah. Let's be real, because legitimately you're costing everyone money. It's Tanahashi, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like that just the amount of precision there from both guys, but Tana with that technique of just trying to still preserve himself, even though his body is actively deteriorating on him. He's still like, I need to preserve what I can. The twists and shouts in this match, absolutely crazy. I think he does the 3-peats in this match, does he? Or is it the next match? He does the.
I think it's the next one.
Isn't that a final match? Isn't there the triple there where he does the standing one, the back one, standing?
That's in the Ibushi match, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, Joe's right. The ones I'm thinking about are different.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
a lot of high fly flows. A lot of them.
Yeah. So. Yes, a bunch of high fly flows. The he actually hits 2 and it ends up being a kick out. That shit always shocks me. I'm like, wow, 2 high fly flows, and they're letting him kick out. Oh, interesting. But then we get later to the match where again the leaning high fly flow into the dragon suplex, and then they do the high fly flow to the back, high fly flow to the front. I love that. I love that sequence so much where he does the back one and he does the front one, and then the one in the Ibushi match. I mean, which we're going to talk about. Absolutely crazy. Like the sequence of high fly flows, shit is fire. 3 count. This is a good match. I mean, to me, Shinsuke, like I personally feel like Shinsuke's final match should have been like final match in New Japan. It should have been a Tanahashi singles match, but instead they did the 6-man where it was Tana, Shinsuke, and I forget who the third guy was. Oh no! It was Tana, Shinsuke, and
Was Ishii not there?
it was Goto, I think.
Might have been, yeah.
It was Goto versus
Shin's farewell match. You're talking about?
Yeah, Shin. It's Okada, Shinsuke, Ishii versus Goto, Okada, and Shibata. That's what it is.
Korakuen, right?
Yeah, Korakuen in like 2016, I think. But
you were right. That's what it was. Okada, Shina, Ishii versus Goto, Tanner, and Shibata. Yep.
That's what it was. Yes, that's what it was. So it's like that was cool. I remember watching that match and I was like, wow, like this is great. Like there's so many cool guys here in just one ring. But if that final match would have been Korakuen Hall, Shinsuke versus Tanahashi, I really felt like that would have been something special. But this match right here, love this match. This is a good match.
Absolutely. Guys, just quickly, I googled how many people watched Ali Foreman. 1 billion television viewers. Legitimately the number. I assume this was an AOA answer, so I scrolled, went through like actual publications. 60,000 attendance and an alleged 1 billion television viewers.
It's 1/8 of the world, bro.
What year was this?
74.
Bro, what the fuck?
World population.
Global.
1 billion people?
A global audience of 1 billion was not. I expected it to be in 100 plus mil, but 1 billion blew my mind.
That's 1/4 of the planet at the time.
Jeez.
That's what it meant to be the heavyweight champ, bro.
For real.
They used to say the heavyweight champ was the most famous person, right?
Yeah.
They used to say the most famous person in sports. Anyway.
Speaking of the most famous person in sports, Tetsuya Naito.
Yep.
Okay, this is a legit thing because I swear to God, I'm not doing it. What happened at this Noah show?
He's just really old.
He's very old and his knees are not good and he's trying his best, I think.
He's seemingly going blind.
I thought he was already blind.
Well, I don't know where he's at that process, but he was falling down a lot, bless him. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Well, God bless his heart.
Well, that wipes out the first part of my notes because it was just about me being sad. I'm going to delete that now.
You deleted it.
Yeah. I heard the backspace.
Yeah, the backspace. Yeah.
Anyways, this match is good.
Yep.
We talked a bit off air. I don't think Khalid was there. Just based on how this show is formatted, it is not Tanahashi's fault at all. Just based on how the show is formatted, you're bound to see like similar things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even more so when you're covering this era of New Japan and Tana. Like, it's just natural. And I think for me, again, this match is good, but this match suffered most from that, I think. There's the added aspect of Tana's arm being targeted by Naito. Doesn't play a huge role, but it is there. But it kind of follows the same trends as our previous two matches, especially. Not necessarily the Nagata match. But this is their third match in they did like the trilogy in 2017, right? It's like Wrestle Kingdom, Dominion,
yeah,
and then this. So there's like they go like all out with like, all the dramatic stuff in this match for that reason. It shows the crowd is like this. Maybe have been the hottest crowd was. The Ibushi one's kind of crazy, but anyways, my favorite part easily, Tana reverses the Destino into the twist and shout, and that just like. Oh, yeah. Got me going.
Yeah. Kevin Kelly got excited about that.
Japanese commentary, brother.
I want to see how Kevin was doing.
That's fair. Was Don Callis on commentary for that one, too?
He was. He was.
Yeah,
Mm.
because I watched I watched it without first, and I watched it, and I went, "Oh my god, it's Don Callis."
Because
Yeah.
it was,
He was
them
very
and
good on the match, to be fair.
them and
Very
Rocky
good. I watched-
Romero.
Yeah,
I
he was
watched
very good on it.
the start of the Shinsuke match with English commentary on, and then I heard Don, and I went, never mind.
Yeah,
Changed it immediately. But yeah, I honestly don't have like that much more to say about this match. It is it's good, just
Right.
a bit samey. But nothing wrong with it really. It's good.
yeah,
Joey.
yeah. I get it. I think the one thing this does capture more than anything else we did was a bit like willingness to be a bit of a dick.
Fair.
Where he slaps Naito and Sumo Hall jeers him, and he's kind of like,
Yeah.
"And what, bitch?"
She does it twice.
Yeah, he's like, he was always willing, as I said earlier, I think you just stepped away, but I was saying like that's one of the things he was great at. Bret Hart was great at that.
Yeah.
Some wrestlers, when they lean heel, they go, "I'm going to be a bad guy now." Whereas Bret Hart was able, like, if he wrestled the 1-2-3 kid, he would just be a bit of a prick.
He'd just be
a little
nasty.
bit of an arsehole.
He would just like
yeah,
exercise his
aggressive.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tana was great at that. And in this, you get a lot of that because obviously Naito at this point is the fans' choice, right? He's the people's champ. And Tana almost kind of goes, I'll play his game. You guys are going to boo me for that? Like, more for you. I'm just doing the stuff he does. I'm playing those same tricks he plays,
Yeah.
which I always love. As you mentioned, the injured arm stuff is actually really good, but doesn't really develop. The big highlight to me, Khalid mentioned it earlier, the cloverleaf is just like,
Bro.
what an incredible piece of business.
What an
that is.
asshole.
Yeah. So I really like the match. I do agree, and this is an example of where I want to be very careful how I word this because this is not criticism. This era of Japanese wrestling, this era of New Japan, is sensational. But it isn't like insane conceptually or psychologically or philosophically.
Right.
And so Tana's career doesn't have that much like weird shit. In the sense that most legendary pro guys, like, we could find more weird shit than we can for Tanahashi. And let me be clear.
Definitely.
That isn't saying I'm going to email Dave to say hold against Tana. It's not a criticism. It's just the way it worked out. Like, if he was in any other era, he would have wrestled some really weird gaijin. Like, whereas
Yeah.
instead, when you guys put this lineup together, and we talked about it before we locked in, and I didn't have a ton of changes to make because I got it. But it's like, you're basically just picking which 5 30-minute matches you want to watch with other great guys, which is awesome. These matches are all... Think of what we left out. AJ, Suzuki, all the other Okada
The AJ
matches,
one.
you know,
The
like
AJ one. Is
Omega,
like,
which we talked about earlier. Like,
Yeah.
we could have done a show of just dome matches.
For sure.
Right? So, and because of what I just described, when you watch them all in order, you do get a lot of overlap, which isn't a knock. Tana didn't wrestle them thinking that some 4 arseholes were going to do this show in 6 years or whatever. But it does. I do think at Buster's point, I think this is probably the biggest victim of it because Ibushi's so different as an opponent that there's more. I also think this and Shinsuke has a lot of like some similar kind of vibes, right? But it was still great, and I watched this before Noah, which made Naito's performance a little more sad. Buster watched it afterwards,
directly
which
after. Yeah.
I'm sure was worse. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's probably worse.
I mean, he was super over at this time, dude. Tetsuya Naito went from being a guy that people didn't really accept to finding the gimmick change and the the personality change that made him a superstar. So that's real. It's to how over he was.
Khalid, this is your guy.
Yes, it is.
Did you like this match? I assume you did. You chose it.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I rewatched so many Naito G1 matches because he's just so fucking. He's so careless about a fucking tournament, and most of the time he's always like at least making like the semifinal stages. And he's won 2, I believe, 2 G1. So it's like this one right here is nothing short of that. I will say what Joe was talking about Tana, like kind of Naito's being the people choice, and then Tana just being like, okay, like I'll do what you guys want me to do with this fella right here. When he starts out, he slaps him. I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, is he hugging him? Why is he hugging him? This being a G1 match, but it's not final, and it's not a title match, so it's not really too much like there's not too much context to really go off of outside of it being a tournament, especially rewatching it. Some people are going into this and they're like, this is a tournament match. I'm just watching the tournament, but there's other people that know that Naito kayfabe hates Tana. Like this Naito despises this man, and guess what else Tana has that Naito hates? The fucking white belt. That damn white belt. That goddamn godforsaken white belt. So when Tana does that little earlier bit, you can look at Naito's face. He's like, bro, if y'all don't get this man off of me, I am going to stab him. Like, why is he hugging me? And then he slapped him again. Ultra disrespect. Just absolutely disrespect. Tana also has the meanest cauliflower ear. That shit looks like it is ready to burst. I was astonished. I was like, oh my God, who has he been training with? It has been insane for. And then I looked in the past. I was like, did he have that before? I don't know. But right here, it's right in the camera. You can see it. It's absolutely crazy. The clover leaf. When we talk about Naito's body and what it's been through, obviously, Naito is 10 years younger than Tanahashi. Okay, so the fact that their bodies are kind of in a similar state, it's a bit astounding.
That's fucking.
That actually just I didn't even know that. That's actually really depressing.
I mean, we're at the point where Naito looks worse than Tana right now.
Tana is, I believe, 50 something.
Dude, there's no way that's true. It can't be true, Khalid.
No, wait, hold on. I'm gonna look this up right now. Hold on.
Yeah,
I reckon it's like 5, 6. It can't be 10 years.
Oh, he almost.
No,
said
yeah,
it.
no.
He almost
Tanahashi's
fucking said it.
49.
I almost did.
Tanahashi's
I swear.
49.
Khalid, we're okay. It's not 10.
Okay,
we don't have to wear that bullet. You're good.
Bro, that would have been.
How old is Naito?
He's 43.
43. Okay, so 6 years.
I only know this because they show everyone's age on Noah. And we all had a moment when we realized he was younger than Cole Anderson, and we're like, whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, how old is Carl Anderson?
45.
Cole Anderson's 45. And Ebu, I think,
He's crazy, right?
Ebu legitimately thought he was 28 years old, I think. He was like, oh.
Bro, he look, dude. I mean, 45 is not old, but like, fuck.
He didn't do matches like this, bro.
you could put him in some teal trunks right now, and I'd be like, oh yeah, he just time traveled.
Yeah, I would have thought he was
Because
36.
When Tetsuya Naito was doing this shit, he was having fucking 6-minute matches on main event, bro. It's different lifestyle, It's a different thing. But anyway, the point stands, he's a younger man, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Naito, again, with Naito's body, like, we're obviously like, God damn, like he just can't move. Then you realize, like, you're like, he was putting himself, or not putting himself, but in some of these matches, he does some stuff that just other people have just not taken, or he has been in submissions that other people, they just haven't went that way about him. So in this cloverleaf, Tana's ass is directly above his head. That shit is and he does the cloverleaf in all of these matches, and his ass does not get close to anybody else's head. Tana's ass, cheeks, and hole is right above Naito's neck. That shit, when I seen it, I paused it and I sat here and I
paused it.
Did you screenshot it? Could you?
No, I couldn't.
Wasn't allowed. You tried. He fired Xbox on.
Hey, all I could do.
Xbox Live.
I took a mental screenshot of that go ace on the back of Tana's ass right next to Naito's head like that, and I said, wow. He did not have to do that. He did not have to do that. And obviously Naito's knees are already wrapped up. Like, it's why are we going through that? Why are we going through that? And this is, I mean, like, Naito goes on to have even more grueling matches after this. But it was just that right there. It really put it in perspective for me. Like, he's really like giving it all to the game. So it's like when I see him walk out there for Noah and he's fucking literally barely walking, and he's falling in the ring and he's getting 3.5s on Cagematch. I'm just like, wow, you're not thinking about the Chronicles. It's all good. It's all good. You know what? Go out and do you. Go out and get paid. This is all you. But
the Chronicles.
He's not thinking about the Chronicles. Same thing for Tanahashi, man. It's like, if he were to think about the Chronicles, he probably did a death match or two. He probably did a death match. No. He would have gave us something. But
did Tana ever bleed though? Actually, I did. Or am I missing something extremely obvious?
If he did, it was probably shoot. I don't think he ever bladed.
I think he got halfway, but I don't.
Yeah. Okay. What match he got hard way cut in?
Hard.
See, again, that is like, it feels ridiculous to hold it, but like, there is a lot of sameness, definitely. Which, thankfully, it's all fucking great, but it definitely is something you notice when you try to put a show like this together, right? Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This match though, I do like this match. I've always loved the story of Naito and Tana. Tana, again, this is another situation of Tana being this older guy, Naito being the younger guy, or Tana versus a younger guy. In this case, the younger guy like genuinely hates him. Like he just wants to see him go away, and he hates how the people have adored him for all this time. And he's like, how could y'all just adore this guy for so long? Like, are y'all serious? And it's kind of odd that Naito becomes the people's choice, because it's like now the people adore you. Like in this match, there's times where Naito's chants are higher than Tana's.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
exactly. So it's like now is he becoming the person that he hates so much, or is this just a one-time thing? And obviously we end up knowing that it's not a one-time thing. They end up being behind Naito for literally the rest of his run in New Japan, it feels like. But this match right here, he wins the match. He wins the match. That's another. He beats the guy that he hates so much after he had lost his belt to him. And was it Dominion that he lost?
And was that via Cloverleaf, or didn't he lose? Didn't he like submit him to win the strap?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe he did.
Because
Which is crazy.
What you said, spot on in the sense like their beef is more about what the other one represents.
Yes, absolutely.
Like Naito sees Tanahashi as the status quo that he was unable to overcome by doing it the right way, and it made him such a resentful arsehole. And Tana looks at Naito as like, man, this is what you become. He's like the guy who's drunk at the bar, You could have just been me, Instead you chose to be this,
I think Tana, like at this time, Tana sees Naito as a younger Tana before he started wrestling, probably when he was a punk kid before he got stabbed and all that stuff. Like when he was just this reckless kid.
Because the thing, like by this point, you have to like, what year is this, Khalid? This is 2017.
2017,
yeah. So like, by this point, the Okada thing is done, dude. He's still fighting to regain that position, but Okada's proved himself.
Yeah.
Naito is so at odds with everything Tanahashi stands for. Like the way he carries himself, the way he handles the title belts, the way he acts in the ring, out the ring, and that's again, the word storytelling is so it's just abused in this space, but that is storytelling, what we're describing. The story is like these guys hate what the other one represents, and when they wrestle, it comes out in this sort of disdain. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
I think that's especially present in the Wrestle Kingdom match.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Adonis. Well, first, okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Adonis.
Yeah.
Give your thoughts. If he's done before I get back,
all good.
Just go to the next match.
I'm going to Cole Anderson if he's done. Right.
God, so just because we've brought up the age thing, I have to just bring this up as a PSA to people. There was a very famous tweet by one Carlito that told Heath Slater to save your money, kid. I'm going to use that to say, protect yourselves. Don't do these things for 20 years, or you will walk like you ever, or maybe
it's kind of beast though.
No, it's beast as fuck. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to walk when you're fucking 40, you should probably.
Yeah, but if you want a Cagematch Chronicles episode,
exactly. If you want to be on Cagematch Chronicles, you give them knees up.
Listen, bro. If you want to die a legend, bro, you gotta jump off cages.
It is what it is.
No, but I like this match. I think Tanahashi is it's really funny watching him, like how much he actively hates. And like, there's a spot where Naito does the Tranquilo pose and fucking Tanahashi just kicks him in the back of the head. Like, it's the most like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, you're going to taunt in front of me? What the fuck is wrong with you? He just kicks him in the back of the head and just walks. Like, he doesn't even do a follow-up move. He literally just walks away. He just like, he goes to the other end. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like he fucking took his juice box and just left the sandbox. I was like, all right, dude, sure. I always love like limb work, especially in Tanahashi matches, because even if it's not like a big part of the match, when they do the forearm exchange at the end, Tana can only do it with his left arm, I believe, is the one that's free. He literally has to keep his right arm down. And I always appreciate that because it's something really small, but it at least makes it so that the stuff you saw has some sort of meaning. Even if it's not grand, it means something. So I watched this with English commentary, and I hate to give any of the people on this fucking commentary team any credit, but they do a really good job of selling how hurt Tanahashi is, because it's not just his arm, it's also his neck they put over is really banged up. So they do a great job of talking about how pointed Naito is. And so to your guys' point about the story, it makes it really interesting when, despite the fact that they each hate what the other represents, they both do a really good job of, it's like this unspoken respect thing, right? Where in their matches, they're always to the limit and tested because they not only know each other super well, but because they're both so determined to prove that the other's ideology is wrong, that they're willing to go through the fire and do all these crazy things like that Cloverleaf, where he literally looks like he's going to snap this guy's kneecaps in half. It is one of the most disrespectful submission holds I've ever seen in my life. Naito legitimately looks like you put him in an Injustice fatality or some shit, bro. Like, he looks cooked. And it just adds to how real and gritty and rigged this match feels. Again, it's the constant theme of the night. The crowds for these matches are just, it's a credit to Tanahashi and how well he's able to build his arcs through matches. Because yes, you can build stories through the actual matches. You don't have to separate them. You can do them in the same context. It works. If you're great, it'll happen. And so I really appreciated how simple this match was, more than maybe any of the other ones. It was Naito worked the arm, but he also, one of the other things that I pointed to was Naito early on did a lot of drop kicks to the arm, but he never did it in the same way. So the first time he just did a sliding drop kick. The next time he used the springboard drop kick to the arm. It was never the same type of drop kick because he knows that Tanahashi's too smart to hit the same thing twice. And I always appreciate little nuggets of detail like that. So to me, it was a very simple match, but I appreciated its simplicity. And it got across how much these two hated each other. And Tanahashi, as a dickhead, pops me so huge. Because he's never like, he's really smug in the way, like, he never like does the smug smile, but he has this like swagger. And whenever he walks, he's just like, yeah, I'm Tanahashi. What do you think was going to happen? I'm going to lose. And then he lost, which makes it even more shocking that like he comes off with this bravado of, I'm Hiroshi Tanahashi. But he's also still a human being who's prone to his own hubris, and he just lost because any man can lose in the damn line, Mark. And he lost. I love this match. It was great.
I think it's important, for anyone who's not aware of the context, and Khalid and I actually talked about this the other night, the big one of the huge points in the Naito story is he wins the G1 climax. Mm-hmm. He does everything he's supposed to do. He earns his shot at Kazuchika Okada, and they do a fan vote to decide if that's going to main event or Shinsuke and Tanahashi's IC title match is going to main event. And the fans pick Tana and Shin. And I think, to some of us, that's such like entrenched lore. It's like, well, of course that's what happened. But I think a lot of fans don't realize that Tetsuya Naito was a wrestler before he was this version of Tetsuya Naito. Mm-hmm. A very prominent pro wrestler. He won the G1. Like we just, so it's really important when you watch these matches. This is an audience that's, if you're a Tetsuya Naito fan and you've watched him go on this journey, and wasn't it Osaka that like outright rejected him as a babyface?
Yes.
And then and that was like a whole thing when he would go back to Osaka. It was like a big deal. If you've been on this journey and you're in this, in this venue for the Tanahashi match, it's like he's fighting against, City Hall in Tanahashi, right? Like this is even though Tanahashi just existed.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
He was fighting the idea of Tanahashi.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. So I think that's one of the things this era was so great for was, there was all these, every opponent had a different dynamic, right? It's a different thing. This is distinctly different to what you described with Okada and Tanahashi, I think, which was much more about, it's my time.
Yeah.
Now this is a lot more kind of, it's kind of gnarly, to be honest with you. It's just good stuff. Great stuff. Buster, go for it, mate.
Our next match. Shinsuke. No. Hiroshi Tanahashi, our last match, by the way. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kota Ibushi, G1 Final 2018. My first note is, so this is what the Budokan looks like with people in it.
That was unnecessary.
This match was a bit of fresh air, honestly. In our previous matches, Tana's always kind of been like the faster guy, more snappy. This one is like not that case at all. Like he has to learn to deal with Ibushi's quickness and his, all that stuff. It's fun to watch how he navigates it because obviously it doesn't happen super often. And then obviously Ibushi's just more of like a junior style wrestler anyway, so that's just refreshing in general. This match probably has the most famous and best example of killer Ibushi or whatever you want to call it. I think in the moment where Tana like fires back on that and forces Ibushi back into the corner, that's probably the moment where I was like most hyped for watching any of these matches. Is fucking awesome. I'm skipping a lot, but I assume Khalid will go until they fully tilt shit. But it's an incredible match. But when Tana's firing up in those moments, he's like still showing pain when he does it.
Mhm.
So for me, it's just 100% willpower, while Ibushi is just like blind rage kind of thing.
Suggesting that you can display fighting spirit while still clearly selling? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. There's a pretty good example of it in this match.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. It all culminates in like the slaps and the Kota fucking murders him on that lariat, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild.
He kills him about 8 different times in this match.
He does.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they do like all the neck bumps that Tana takes, the suplexes. It's fucking wild. Of all the matches, this one's the longest, but I think it's the one that justifies its length the most. The momentum like stays consistent, and they continue to just raise the stakes. Like a lot of times you watch these matches and it's like that should have been the finish. I don't think I ever said that in this match until the finish. It's just ridiculous how fast of a pace they push, and it never like weighed on me really at all. Yeah, it's ridiculous. What is also ridiculous though is fucking the way Tana holds up is like, because for me in my mind, I could be wrong, but it's not for another like 2 to 3 years where he really falls off.
Yeah.
In terms of just his ability.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he obviously shows signs. You can see it as you watch the matches. He shows signs of like
Slowing down.
he's slowing down and the aging and all that stuff. But he's still like fucking.
In some ways, he's the best he ever was.
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, it's the kind of thing all wrestlers talk about it, where the older you get, you learn to compensate for your your lack of ability or whatever. But it just makes you better because you learn psychology more. It's remarkable to watch. Tana gets his third G1, right? His third one, right?
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah, and I think they said his record was like 8-1-1 to close the tournament.
My God,
I believe
He's
so.
on
What a fucking beast, bro.
Dude, the visual of Shibata carrying Tanahashi,
Bro,
actually broke me.
Bro.
It broke
what
me
the fuck,
genuinely.
dude? Why was that so powerful? What
I
the
don't,
fuck?
dude. It like, and then also like, it wasn't just that visual. It was also like Shibata trying to put him on the top rope and like failing, and then laughing about it and like hugging. That whole thing is just like, holy fuck.
See, we didn't even do any Shibata matches, bro.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Dude,
this is actually hard to put together. Like,
really hard. Yeah.
I texted Cleet about it. He kind of gave me his pretty quickly. I mean, he knows his favorite matches, but like I was going through the cage match, just like like what do I pick? What do I leave out? It's
one of the most
thing to
insane
do.
catalogs, bro. It's like absurd.
After watching the matches, I literally have like no argument, especially because Naito's Khalid's guy. But like the fact we did a 5-match lineup that was this strong and we didn't touch the Suzuki match or the AJ match, which on any given day could be my favorite Tana match.
Yeah.
Is like
The AJ's
wild.
mine, yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. It's I think this is a fitting end. It's my favorite matches that we watched, and like I said, Tana's last G1 win. It's incredible. Dave gave it 5 3/4.
Which is fun. Will always
Beast
be fun.
mode.
Always
Beast
fun.
mode.
It's not a 6, Buster. It's
No,
5 3/4.
5 3/4, brother.
5 3/4.
Yeah.
Adonis,
Yeah.
how'd you feel about this match?
So I said the AJ match is my favorite Tana match. This officially became second. I could not fucking believe. I've never seen this match until today. I'll be honest. I've never seen it until today.
Wow.
My mind was fucking blown. I was
really
sitting in
good.
this. Thank God I was home alone because I was yelling an uncontrollable amount to the point where if I was still living in an apartment, I'd probably get evicted. It was visceral. The visual of Shibata and Omega on the outside cheering their two guys on, just adding to the grandiose scale of the match. Bro, that slap exchange. I just, oh my. Bro, Tana backs him in the corner. Ibushi looks scared out of his mind. Like, what the I haven't killed you yet. And Tana doesn't even hit him back. It takes him like a couple seconds to like get himself. But it's the realization that sets in of like, this guy's just not going to die. And it's in that moment where you realize he's going to win this match. By hell or high water, Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to beat Kota Ibushi because he will not die. And they start slapping each other. And bro, I don't know if it was the way it was mic'd. I don't know if these two are just out of their they're definitely out of their fucking minds.
Well,
you heard every single slap. They beat the shit out of each other. It was like, it's like if you challenge your friend to a slap box gone wrong at recess. It was like they just decided, you know what? For 35 seconds or whatever, we are gonna just slap each other. And Tana's yelling and Kota's yelling, and this place is losing their mind, and Shibata and Omega are banging the apron, and it's just, and not even to mention that Tana lands on his neck about 17 times before this sequence even happens. So you're even wondering how this guy is like stationary at all. And he's not even stationary. Like, I'm being nice about it. He's like wobbling around. Ibushi, I love the story of the match where it's the complete opposite of the Nagata match, and where it's Ibushi is throwing everything he can at Tanahashi, but Tanahashi's battles and his experience and his heart are going to keep him in this fight. He's not going to let this go. He's going to get his G1 win because he's not going to let his, because what was it? You guys said 8-1-1. Like, that is a run, bro. He's like, I'm not letting this run get wasted. I don't give a fuck how young you are. I don't give a fuck. There's a sequence where Kota's kicking him in the chest, and he's just standing there.
Yeah.
He's just standing there like, what, you going to hit me again, motherfucker? And Kota just keeps hitting him harder. And more so than any of the other opponents that we've covered today, it really hit me that, like, Kota's injuries in the last couple of years, it's just really heartbreaking because, like, this dude was, I mean, he was one of the best in the world. Like, his movements, his energy, his animation. I mean, he was just, it's really a special thing to see it. And oh my God, bro. Like, it's 35 minutes of two guys beating the piss out of each other, but it also carries that level of detail. Like, the high fly flow to the floor that we've seen in 4 of the matches, Tana doesn't get it the first time because Ibushi's just so fast. He meets him on the top rope and he starts forearming him. So what does Tana do? He patiently waits out Ibushi to get overzealous. He does the dragon screw on the middle rope, and then he hits it because he prepared it. So he knows he'll be able to get it off this time. And that's where this entire match, it sets it apart from being not just a fireworks show or a bombs fest. It's an actually carefully structured and storied outline match where it's Tanahashi waiting out the flame of Ibushi. No pun intended, because his finisher is the Golden Star, but he's waiting out Ibushi because he knows that at some point his experience, what he lacks in speed and athleticism at this point in his career, he can make up for in just how much he's willing to die for that ring. And it's a beautiful thing. And obviously the post-match is beautiful. This match is just beautiful. It's beautiful violence. It's my favorite match we saw today. It might be my favorite first time watch of the year. And it's the first day of the year. Like, I always make a list at the end of the year of my favorite matches that I saw for the first time throughout the year. So it doesn't matter if it was 2026 now or whatever. This will probably be number 1 by the end of the year. This is a special match. It encapsulates everything that makes Hiroshi Tanahashi one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And moreover than that, what made New Japan so special in the late 2010s as a in-house style, as a promotion, as a nucleus for what wrestling can be. Special, just special all the way through.
Very much so. Khalid.
Yo.
Thoughts,
man. Let me go and tell you what's up, man. So, yo, look, man. Hold on, let me get my notes back up real quick. Okay, so
how can you read the notes with the eyes so concealed? It's remarkable, really.
They ask out of that all the time.
It's the power. It's the power of Tanahashi.
That's why New Japan's booking has gotten so bad, because he's losing his vision. He's losing his vision. So
it's actually because he doesn't wear this anymore. He wears that flat cap.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Pussy.
Yeah.
like a pussy.
Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, this match, right? So we were talking about the collective of matches that we could have picked and that we did pick, and like, to me, like, when I'm looking at it all in front of me, like, I'm looking at the opponents that we have in front of me, and then we get to Ibushi, and I'm like, wow, like, we've coincidentally have just picked a person who is a combination of the previous 4 opponents. To me, let me explain. Nagata with the kicks. Ibushi is a very powerful kicker. Shinsuke, very unorthodox. Ibushi is very unorthodox.
True.
Naito is kind of you could say in a way a death-defying wrestler because he does the fucked up shit. He does the quote unquote kill yourself stunts. Ibushi does the kill yourself stunts. Quote. The athleticism from Okada is also there with Ibushi in terms of just jumping and just everything else. It's all there. It's all a combination of his previous opponent. It's convenient that this match happens after all those opponents, that he finally gets that combination, that last person that's also very young and also wants Tana's spot. But it just so happens that even if you have all of these attributes, all these tendencies, all these weapons, and yes, you can also have your ultimate, which is where you feel like you can't take any damage and all you can do is just dish it out. That's cool. Even when he did that, Tana embraced him. He said, yes, hit me. You're in your murder form. Hit me. Murder me. Let's see what happens. And even then, the ace said, no, there is no murdering me. I am the ace. I will prevail. And he did just that. He let him get, 6 strikes in and pushed him to the corner without even touching him. Just without even touching him. He got pushed to the opposite corner. Leans his head in and then goes back and forth with someone who apparently cannot take damage and then damages him, rocks him actually. His screen turns gray. He's hurt.
Wasted.
His screen
He's on the ropes.
gray.
He's on the ropes. He's caught. Now, yes, he did lay in that lariat, but what did he do right after that? He laid out. There was no pin. There was nothing. He was laid out because Tana has took it all away from him. Just took it all away from him. Said, fuck that murder shit. You're wrestling me one-on-one. No special stuff involved. And if we're doing this one-on-one, no specialties, you do not have the heart at all. You're not ready. You were a junior. This is something that New Japan has not seen. Someone who wanted to be, I'm trying to think inside my head, and I've been trying to, and Joe might be able to remind me. But as far as I know, there was no one that had really been on top of the junior division, head and shoulders on top of the junior division, and then went to heavyweight before Kota. I'm trying to remember. I'm going through everyone.
You'd have to go back, I think, a pretty long way. And also, it's important to note that, Kota's an outsider, right?
Exactly. He's an outsider.
Yeah. And that stuff's always hard. I think that's a very, Japanese wrestling culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Absolutely.
Him being a DDT guy who just slowly became a guy who worked New Japan consistently and then was a full-time, that's not the same as being a guy who was in the dojo and it's different. Right. And so there's definitely some of those undertones, I think, too, Cleve. But yeah, it's an interesting one. You probably have to go back to the old school guys from the 80s and shit, right, brother?
Yeah.
Exactly. Interesting.
Exactly. It would feel crazy for someone with the status of Tanahashi to look at Ibushi and say, how dare you? How dare you make it all the way to my G1 fight?
With his little pal in the corner, too.
Exactly.
That's what they're calling him these days.
With your little golden lover in the corner. How could you? Do you see who's in my corner? Who's in my corner?
Is Kenny the champ already by this point? He is, right?
I think he is.
This is August 2018, so I would say so. It's after Dominion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's the lads are
they bring up that he beat Okada.
Tana's you guys aren't wrestling in the fucking Tokyo Dome main event, bro. No. Not on my watch.
Get that gay shit out of here.
What?
Bro, that's the whole match.
That wasn't what I was suggesting. But
I'm kidding. I know.
I never got the sense there was homophobic undertones to Hiroshi Tanahashi, but
really,
I think it was just more these two DDT guys,
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing goofy stuff in DDT literally less than 10 years ago. Yeah. When we were talking about 2018.
Yeah.
It was 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago. They're out there doing just the goofiest shit. And now y'all
that was a big part of the Kenny build, right? Khalib was these different worlds. But you carry on. Sorry, I'm getting fired up. Go.
Hey man, it's New Japan. Talking about New Japan is just, oh my god, such a good pastime. But anyways, fucking Tana's how dare you? So Kota's bringing all this extra, malarkey to the table, and Tana's just no. You're gonna eat the sling blade. You're gonna eat this the sling blade he gives Kota. It's personal. That is a personal sling blade. All right, that is a personal sling blade. He threw that man's head straight to the ground. in a sling blade. Absolutely ridiculous. And then Ibushi, the disrespect of Ibushi to do a bumaye. How dare you? How absolutely dare you hit Tanahashi with a bumaye? How could you? Shinsuke's finisher, and you do that. Oh goodness! Oh my goodness! You could just feel, you could feel Tanahashi be like, okay, this has been cool and all, but now it's time to really put this shit in the dirt. It's time to really put this shit in the dirt. When he countered that Kamigoye into that twist and shout, and then he did another one, and then he did that dragon suplex hold for that 2 count. He said, all right, it's high fly flow time. High fly flow to the back. Ibushi has a nerve to get up, eat that standing high fly flow. And then since you want to position yourself to where you're just laying vertically, like I'm looking at you and you're laying out straight like that, that's fine. That's fine. I have something just for you for this occasion. Let me get my old ass back on these ropes for the 3rd time and let me spin in mid-air to make sure you stay down. And guess what he did? He stayed down for that 3 count.
The people are shrieking, bro. Too.
Yeah.
When he goes up the 2nd time, they're shrieking. The 3rd time, it's like
the 3rd time,
bro, it's like they're gonna burn the building down.
Yeah,
I'm sure like it was planned. But in my head canon, he heard the 2nd shriek and he went, "Let's fucking do it again, brother.
Let's do it one more. Let's give one more.
Let's give him one more."
That doesn't even sound far-fetched. That sounds like something somebody like Tanahashi would do.
I don't think it's the case, but I think the fact that the way he executes it feels like it's instinctive is the key, right? Like I always think Randy Savage was the most meticulous guy in terms of line-up matches, but the brilliance of Randy Savage is if you watch his matches, it's like you can entirely believe he's doing it all off the
on the
dime.
fly.
You can't predict what he's doing next.
And that does come off like Tanner just being like, "Nope, we're finishing it now." Like, it's cool.
It's like that story where, all right, cunt.
that story, the all right cunt story,
where Punk was working Eddie on the Indies, and they went to a time limit draw because Eddie didn't want to beat that Indies champion before he went back to the World Wrestling Federation. And then the time limit draw happened, and he like saw how disappointed the fans were, so he like restarted the match. He was like, "Sorry, Punk, I had to hit the frog splash, brother. Got to give him the spot."
Gave that goddamn frog.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Godly.
Anyway.
What a Eddie and Tana talk, bro. Imagine if that would have been God.
2 of the greatest of all time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Joey.
Yep.
I assume you like this match.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to add. I'd never seen this match before.
Well,
In an indication of my levels of depression in summer 2018, I didn't know what this match was. No clue. I saw it on the list, and I don't know. Sure, that's good.
to be fair, it is kind of early for a G1 final. Am I wrong? It's like the 11th.
Yeah, I didn't think it was the
August.
final, but I don't remember them wrestling in the final. I didn't watch any New Japan. I think in this in the Okada Omega matches.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rey Mysterio works one of these shows. I remember being like, Jesus, that sounds like I'd enjoy if I wasn't severely depressed. So I don't have any memory of this or any nostalgia for it, like at all. But it's unbelievable. It might be the best match we watched here, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't need to go through the blow by blow because I think it's covered and we got very excited doing it. But I mean, Ibushi at this point is probably a top 10 offensive wrestler in the history of professional wrestling at this time. I mean, because he's got, jacked and he's super explosive. He's in the match right before this in a 6-man with Okada on the other side. There you go. So it shows you the haze I was in at this point in my life. I got really fired up for Tana and Omega, and it delivered big. And then obviously New Japan was about to change with the formation of AEW, and the rest is history. But yeah, I mean, I think it's covered at this point. How great this was. The atmosphere for this was like, man, all that work that Tana did at the start of the decade really paid off in terms of attendance and heat at the end of the decade. Like, they were so hot before the pandemic, dude. I think the Naito Dome... Didn't the Naito Dome do like the best number they've done in years?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, dude. And now, I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to be the same, which is sad. I mean, I'm sure it'll eventually get there. Things change, but...
It's going to take a while, though. They have so much talent to build up.
It's great that Tana's going to go out on a sellout, but I do wish he could go out with, I wish there was a little bit more optimism.
For sure.
Yeah, what does post Tanahashi New Japan look like? Yeah.
Because I think, I'll quote Dragon again on the aforementioned Lost program, but he talks about something that I think about a lot, but I'm too scared to say because I'm not American Dragon brand name. So he's like, Some people just think this stuff's just it's entitled to live forever, dude. This stuff's just always going to be the way. It's like shit changes, man. He talks about like French wrestling was so big, and now it's like, what's the French scene now?
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying Japanese wrestling's going to die. I'm not fucking stupid. What I'm saying is like, we're not like guaranteed or owed anything. It may never feel like this again. You know what I'm saying? Like this Budokan crowd is. We watched a show at Budokan this morning, Buster.
Yeah.
It's like a different sport, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's like.
I mean, you kind of nailed it where you said the show kind of had the vibe of it, like, oh, it's over. The show had
It's over.
The show had the vibe of like the people that were there were just we go to Noah on New Year's, dude.
Yeah,
Like, that's what we do.
It's like
whereas this had the vibe of, please God, can Ibushi win? Please God, can Tanahashi win? I want to see Ibushi versus Omega. Oh my God, it's Shibata. It's like heart in man. Like, oh my God, please.
Like they
let me see
cared.
it.
They cared.
You just can't. And this is also one of the big things. And this is, you know, I know we're winding down, but like one thing that's really important to note. If you watched American wrestling in the mid 2010s, the difference in crowds when you headed to Japan was
Oh my god!
Because
bro.
the only promotion that was running big rooms in the mid 2010s was WWE, and their crowds were like,
crowds didn't give a fuck, bro.
They just sat there, bro. Like, and God bless them, wasn't their fault. Like the shows were terrible, obviously, but like, Ring of Honor, like they were doing better houses, but they're still small rooms, right? And TNA was fucked. You know, like,
Destination America, TNA. Oh,
yeah, and like PWG by choice, obviously run the building it run, and like all the other alternatives you could list. But like to be able to watch wrestling in settings like this, and especially when once they were English commentary for people, that was big. The immersion it allowed you to see crowds react like this to wrestling. There's an interview with Juice Robinson, our beloved Juice Robinson, with the great Rob Naylor, friend of the program. And he asked Juice if he could do America, and he's like, nah, man. He's like, no one will cheer him in America. In Japan, they like actually get behind the baby faces and care about what happens. In America, they just think I'm lame. And like, that isn't as bad. Well, it wasn't as bad at the start of this decade as it was there. You know, I think it's maybe might start to go back in that direction, I fear. But,
unfortunately.
But, dude, seeing fans just react like to wrestling was like, thank fuck, man, finally.
Yeah.
You know, it was huge. Santana's just centerpiece of that whole thing. So I think that's another context thing that's important, I suppose.
Yeah. I think the only time I've ever been in a crowd, well, no, there's two of them. I just didn't remember it. Brian at Mania 30 is like a big one for me, but I was also like actually 13 years old, so it was legitimate, like, you know. And then Hangman this year, which was like,
that was big.
I was still like, let's fucking go, Hangman's my champion. But there was still that tinge of like, finally, the company will be better. Like it was like, it wasn't full blown like wrestling fan. I love my baby face. You know what I mean? It was wanting the TV to be better, which is just not a thought I had at fucking 13 years old.
Right.
It's weird because I've gone to a couple live shows this year, and I feel like I've been in like atmospheres for like so when Punk won the belt at SummerSlam for like 5 minutes or whatever, I remember the reaction when the 3 count hits and he wins the belt. Because it's like a big like happy, and I just remember how happy people were, and like I don't know how sustained that was for maybe the whole match per se, and that speaks to sort of maybe where we are now, where I think in American wrestling, especially, unfortunately, I think a lot of people are just more so it's the moments high rather than like the sustained appreciation for getting to the moment, which is such a like busted open talking point, but it really is just like. It feels like people are seeking out certain things as opposed to wanting to take like this match. Nobody was quiet for a single this match was 35 minutes long. There was not a second in the 35 minutes where there's no noise. There's always a response from the crowd, and like it just feels like, especially stateside, it's either a bit or they got a cool moment and they're reacting to the moment, but not the journey to get to the moment. That's just sad. I don't know. Wrestling's such a journey sport. It's sad.
It is, but it's on the talent. Yeah, it's on the appealing creative. You know, you emphasize moments, the fans will emphasize moments.
That's the thing. I don't think it's impossible to get to this point, but it's just, is anybody trying?
That's the thing. Yeah, it's like
I think it will get back there. Now it does feel like we're really. Like clip driven. I think everything is, right? Like this match has clips in it. Obviously, it's a great wrestling match. Every great wrestling match has things you can clip. But like, It's more, there's something about living with the match, which is, I actually think that prior Tanahashi quote about, he says that, doesn't he? Something to the effect of the one I read earlier. He says something like, being able to live in those pockets between the moments. Between
Yeah,
stuff.
take it all. Take it in, man. Take it in, man. Taking those moments.
But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting, and I think it's fitting that as we wind down with it, we're talking more just wrestling psychology and philosophy. Tanahashi's a guy who, hopefully in retirement, will get even more insight in the way he talks about matches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anytime I can get a Tanahashi story, we got some on Late Night Grim with the Good Brothers, and whenever it's just like, to me, he's one of those guys. He's part of wrestling history. He's just he's a magic man. Yeah,
I think about that quote a lot from his interview the other day, where he was just like, "It went by so fast, like because I gave it everything I had," and he's like crying, and it's just stuff like that, dude. Like it's hard not to think about how powerful the sport can be, and subsequently how powerful the people in it can be. Because like you think about like Tana's retiring on Sunday morning. AJ Styles, if you believe his words, is retiring at some point this year. Samoa Joe, you know how long he's got. Rey Mysterio, guys like that. Like it is just weird to think about. Like it's not to say that wrestling's never going to die. There's so many great wrestlers and all that stuff, and wrestling will live for. But like to think about how many moments in time that, and Joe, I think you talked about it with the FTR Briscoes match. I think you talked about like there's going to be things in 30 years that you're going to get to say you were there for. Not necessarily like you were physically in the building, but that like you were alive to consciously experience. Well, you were, but like
I was
going
to
to
say, speak for yourself.
no.
no, you're right.
Get it.
You're right.
It's just like it's crazy to think that like in like 30, 40 years, like guys like Tanahashi and Meiko Satomori and AJ Styles and John Cena and Bryan Danielson, all these people will be they'll be memories more than they are mainstays. Like that's just weird how like quickly wrestling just kind of goes. And to think that Tana,
there's every era has their own crack at it, right? And Tanahashi at one point was a guy that people wondering, okay, how's he going to be able to replace? Is he going to be able to turn the tide for New Japan? In the same way that it just is the way it goes. It's a cycle, and so someone's going to have to step up on that side of things, right? I mean,
hopefully
whether it's New Japan or somewhere else. It's always interesting. Hiroshi Tanahashi may, and this could be way off, and we'll see, but like his level of individual impact and influence may not be replicated for a very long time because certain things happen that were out of his control that resulted in like a complete transformation of the business, Buster, basically.
Yeah, Khalid was talking about it. Like New Japan can find a guy, and they're like, "This is the one." But there were circumstances that led to Tana being not only the guy, but like so easily accepted by the fans. Because Khalid was talking about like Inoki's sole focus on like MMA kind of made the fans, they yearned for just a wrestler, just a professional wrestler,
right?
And Tana was that guy, and so it was easy for them to just kind of pick him as the next guy. I don't know how the fuck that happens now.
Well, it's there, and it's like if you'd have said to Hiroshi Tanahashi when he won that Yuji Nagata match, right? In 11 years, or what year was that? Sorry, it was
2018.
Oh,
you talking about the
07, right?
The Yuji match, yeah.
The Yuji match, yeah, 07.
So if you just said in 12 years, New Japan will be running Madison Square Garden. It would have blown his mind, Yeah. I mean, like by the time they got there, it was like, fuck. I mean, you wished it was a different circumstance because really they sold that show out based on the idea that Okada and Omega were going to wrestle, which speaks to how strong New Japan was. But the way that his career unfolded, like you just said, the timing of it, he was the guy they needed at that time. He had a booker, and it has to be said, we have a lot of fun at Ghetto's expense. That fucking marriage, dude, like a guy who had US influences. Opposite a booker that's like favorite shit was fucking Mid-South and Crockett, and like they're so interesting they were together.
Yeah.
And even more interesting, these two mindsets that have so much US influence come together at a time where US wrestling is so dormant that fans are looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Which allows people to
like,
it's 2015, but I don't watch wrestling TV, I just watch the fucking Access TV highlights New Japan show. Like and all of that, What's scary to me at least is the fact that like I don't know if this might be like just being dramatic, but
it feels like U.S. wrestling is becoming more dormant, and I don't know, like where else is. I mean, Mexico, I guess, right? Like CMLL is like the place to look, but it doesn't. This could just also be me talking about it like this because I don't watch CMLL, but it doesn't feel the same. Like it doesn't feel like it'll be as.
I just think there's a general. I think the smart fan. I use that phrase just to be loose because that's just what we use to describe the hardcore fan, right? The hardcore fan.
Yeah.
I think there's always been a bigger disconnect with Lucha.
Yeah.
You know, Lucha's importance to Mexican culture is actually the one seed in all of pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
But I think if you were to poll 100, again, smart fans, quote unquote, you know, there's generally a way deeper knowledge of Japanese wrestling. And I think you've seen a little bit of a shift this year, you know, which is cool. I think people are watching CMLL, and as much as we roll our eyes at it, like, there's inevitably going to be an impact of the AAAR purchase, right? It just is inevitable. Like,
it's already kind of begun a little
help,
bit.
but, like, people are watching random shows from Mexico, which is a new thing. And, you know, whatever that comes with that. So that'll be an interesting thing. I mean, we have to be, you know, your point's a great one. They are selling out these buildings.
Yeah.
So it's happening, right?
It's successful.
It does feel different in terms of, like, being the centerpiece of the genre, the medium, whatever the fuck you want to use, right? Yeah.
It also speaks to, like, the curiosity, too, because you bring up, like, how jaded people were with the current state of American wrestling in 2015. Part of Tana's rise is that it wasn't just Japanese wrestling fans that were accepting him. It was new fans from stateside who were watching and seeing his work and connecting with, well, wait a minute. This is just a God's honest professional wrestler who is being booked like a top star because he is a top star. And it feels weird to say because American wrestling had top stars in 2015, but almost you look at any top star in that era of American wrestling, almost none of them were booked like a top star. Legitimately, they were always faults in their booking. And Tanahashi always felt like the one guy that even with certain qualms, they got right. And so one of the things too that I feel we're losing is it's happened a little bit with CMLL, but I don't know if people are as keen on wanting to explore wrestling outside of the letters they've attached themselves to. And I think that's what makes Tana's rise so unique is that there were people there wasn't two companies in America, right? Big companies. It was just WWE. So you didn't have that other option of a company in America that if you didn't like WWE, you could just watch it, where you had to go out of your way to watch a New Japan, to watch, you know, whatever was going on in Mexico at the time. Whereas now, if you don't like WWE, you're just going to watch AEW because it's the next American company and vice versa.
And there's a lot of good positives to that, right? And it just is what it is. And Tana's a big part of AEW's existence, as has been pointed out by many of the boys. And the last point I want to make, Buster, and then we'll take this home because I know we've been on it for a while. It is important to note that while, yes, he was very much accepted because of what you mentioned and what Cleed highlighted, he also was willing to be a little bit, honestly, bold, artistically, creatively, whatever you want to use, whatever language you want to go with. His style was not necessarily for everyone.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people, especially within the industry, that did not appreciate Hiroshi Tanahashi's take on the evolution of Japanese wrestling. And I think there's a lesson in that now we talk about like that never even existed because he proved it over time.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for trying new things. And I think now that we are probably, when was the Okada match watched? 12 years ago, nearly 13 years ago.
Yeah.
I think there is a real opening for some guys to try some new things on top. And I don't see the value in trying to be Hiroshi Tanahashi. I think you got to try different things the way he did. He wasn't trying to be Yuji Nagata. He wasn't trying to be Tenzan.
Totally different.
Right. And I think, to me, if we could take one from his career, that's probably it to me.
Yeah. And with that, folks, we look to the future for wrestling, but also for Cagematch Chronicles. Cleed, do you have the wheel?
Yes, I do.
Oh, baby.
Oh, my God. The wheel.
It's wheel
I
time.
forgot about
The wheel is back.
Yeah. This is to decide what topic we will be discussing on the next episode of Cagematch Chronicles.
Oh, my God.
Lock in. The wheel is spinning. Frames are low. Doesn't matter.
The most tense moment in all the sports.
This or the race for...
Oh,
okay. year.
Nice year. Okay.
All right.
We haven't done a year in a long time. It's been a
We
while.
haven't. It's been some time.
Jesus.
Oh my
Wow.
That's a lot of shuffles.
We got a lot of wheels.
Yeah, this goes all the way to I believe 1980.
That'd be a
baby.
sick episode. I hope that wins.
Joe would make it a point to be on that.
I would be on that. Yeah. Let's
one of the
decide whether
first
I'm on
ones we ever did was 88.
Oh no! Wait.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine.
Oh my
with
god.
that.
Okay. Oh my god. I thought I was gonna do 2021. I was gonna watch something.
I might
If
have
it
to
was-
be on that show.
Yeah, we can.
Sweet
Yeah,
spot.
Yeah.
2016. I'm cool with.
That's a good
2021,
year for my
please
wrestling.
fuck off.
Best time of my life, dude. 2016.
Honestly,
God,
yeah.
that's great.
Now 10 years ago.
10
Fuck
years.
you.
Yes,
Don't
and because of that, I'm working on like 3 different LNG Productions projects to commemorate that because it was such a great time in my life.
All right,
2016
folks.
was awesome.
On the next episode of Cagematch Chronicles, we'll be on fucking hoverboards and we'll be using fidget spinners and shit or whatever was popular in 2016. Thank you for watching. Gotta do plugs. Fuck. Joe, any plugs?
Yes, we are back tomorrow night, 11:05 Eastern.
Fuck.
And the nominees are, we decide who is up for the Golden Grinnies. If you want to have a say, tomorrow night's your chance. If you put the name in the chat, we'll discuss it, right? So that'll be tomorrow night's Golden Grinnies nominees show. Saturday we have Collision, Confirm Shoot, Marcus, Dukes and Rice are going to be in charge of that because we're going to be sleeping. We're going to be resting because if you're watching this, you can watch on Sunday morning. We are live and free for Wrestle Kingdom 20 as the great Hiroshi Tanahashi walks that walk one last time. His final match, battling the aforementioned Kazuchika Okada, 10 years to the day of the match that may be their greatest match.
Yep.
Can't wait to watch that together as a family, myself, the Guns, and Contrarian Alex of all people.
Oh, yeah.
What a day it will be, what a morning it will be, what a night it will be. So we'll see you there, folks.
Adonis.
Yeah.
Any plugs?
Yeah, I'm on the nominee show tomorrow, and I think that's it. I think.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
Khalid. Tell him about Twitch, dude.
MXXJIMA, man. You know, the beginning of 2026, and honestly, going all the way into like September, it's safe to say that I am like consistently back on Twitch. So
There's a lot of games to play, bro.
there's a lot of games to play, and I do have Game Pass Ultimate now, so it is going to get wicked. It's going to get wicked. They had the $1 deal. I said, you got me. So things will be getting played. So if you ever want to, come fuck with your boy, come talk to me. We can chat about some wrestling too, because as you can see, I'm very passionate about the topic.
Yeah. You're going to be just like Ghetto on Twitch?
I could.
I could.
You
Absolutely.
still playing COD?
Alone.
Wow, really?
What a
Yeah.
beast.
You're still going even if you're alone?
Yeah.
Fuck,
yeah.
bro,
Of
really
course,
got
bro. It's just collegiate. Think of the wrestling he watches. Of course he is.
No, I was talking about
Um,
fucking.
No, but I'm saying, of course, you think about the. Come on.
But there's a whole thing with there's a whole connotation behind Call of Duty that you're not aware of, Joe. Please.
All right. Adonis in the meeting, so we can confirm in production. In production.
This
Oh,
is true.
baby.
I
That's
talked to
true.
Rice. I said, so we're working on 10 years of AJ Styles in WWE.
Mhm.
And I said to Rice, if you make equal thumbnails for both, in July when we post the exact same video title but with Alexa Bliss rather than AJ Styles, I said, I am very confident the second one will do better than the first one. And Rice just went, yeah, I think you're right. And we said, let's just do both of them then.
Hell yeah.
10 years of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Similar careers.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Both influenced by Japan. Anyways, I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Bye.